This episode of the We Like Shooting Show is brought to you by Second Call Defense, Swamp Fox Optics, Manticore Arms, the Sonoran Desert Institute, Faxon Firearms, the Patriot Patch Company, and Brown Hells.
Welcome to the We Like Shooting Show, episode 324. Tonight we're going to talk about tactical pontoon triggers, kinetic development group attachments, silencer go hacking equipment, more. Our panel tonight is Jeremy Posderick, who's feeling super relieved right now. We've also got the, communist, the guy who brings up he shouldn't, Savage 1R. We got the Machine Gun Moses, Aaron Krieger, the MG Martin Luther, Nick Lynch. My name is Sean Heron, and I want to welcome you to the show. Martin Luther?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Well, Aaron's Jewish.
Yeah?
And I mean, I was raised Protestant, so I just figured.
Religious jokes. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it at all. Aaron, how's it going?
Good, man. It's almost done. So as soon as this tinfoil ball is compressed enough, I'm going to put it in the microwave, and it's going to get all smooth.
Okay, cool. I've actually seen that meme, and I'm pretty sure it works just like that.
You just pulled a Sean.
If you're listening at home, you guys should try it too.
All right.
See, you told the joke, and then you told it again on the show 15 minutes later, just like Sean does.
Look, 2 minutes later. And
first of all, if I have a really good joke before the show, I don't want to waste it on you losers. I actually want good people to enjoy it.
No, Sean will tell it like 4 times that day to different people to try it out.
Dude, I'm like a comedian. Like I gotta figure it out.
Like a comedian.
You know what, Savage? No one asked you.
Oh God! So the other day. I took a drink of rum, and we were watching something on TV. Just as I take the drink, whatever it was on TV made me laugh. So I squirted out my nose. And I'm like trying to catch it in my hands. And as I pull my hands up to my face to catch it, it actually hits my hands and splashes back and hits me in the eyes.
Facial.
Nick got rubbed by rum.
Everything burned. It was terrible.
That sounds awful. All right, let's do an ad read real quick, and then we'll get into it. Brought to you by Manticore Arms. I talked on the phone with Sven today, and he's up to some cool stuff that you guys are not allowed to know about. Neither am I, because he wouldn't tell me. So he learned his lesson, I guess. Anyway, some good stuff coming out there. But someone was asking about a transformer rail, and the attachment, they wanted the Cloud Defensive Owl flashlight, and they asked about, will it fit on a transformer rail? And they were like super butthurt that it didn't necessarily work because it's a little bit too big for that front section of Picatinny.
I mean, you could clamp it on there.
You can.
It would just overhang a little bit.
But yeah, he was so upset that he's like, I'll just build a new rifle then to put the light on, because he didn't want to take off his transformer rail. And I think that's actually pretty awesome. So ManticoreArms.com. Check them out. Coupon code is WLS10. That saves you 10% all day, every day. And we have this game. It's a drinking game. All right, so anytime that I say interesting, so basically nice or dang, or Aaron says bi curious, suggests that registration does not lead to confiscation or interrupt somebody. Every time Jeremy says kill yourself, call Savage a commie or sniffles, ask for free spits, huffs, farts, or hate breathes into the mic. Every time Nick says something insightful, says something no one laughs at, or talks about his butt issues, or every time that Savage mentions Reddit, mispronounces a sponsor, Washington, or a gun of the pores, safely and healthily, please take a drink. All right, that'll do with the shenanigans. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest tonight. He is the owner of Hackett Equipment. His name is Greg Rikowski. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Good pronunciation, by the way. And happy Veterans Day.
Jeremy, happy Vets Day.
Yeah. Hey, is your first name Buddy?
Buddy?
No. Buddy Hackett.
Oh, Buddy Hackett.
Buddy. Oh, no. Sorry.
That's such a Nick joke.
He's like, is your name Martin? Martin Luther? Protestant? I don't get it.
You know, there are like 3 people out there who are going to laugh at that. Those 3 people make it worth it.
Those 3 people don't listen to this show.
No, they do.
Yeah, they probably do, actually. Yeah. Greg, man.
You guys have like a serious cult following, too. Like, I mean, maybe someone...
Well, literally.
Yeah, literally a cult following.
Literally the cult following.
Yeah.
Just know what'll happen if you're bad.
Greg, tell us what is Hackett Equipment?
So Hackett Equipment is a range gear company. We make bags, shooting glasses, steel targets, and leather belts now. So anything anything that has to do with like the shooting range. We're kind of like a solutions company where, you know, if we see a need in the market that we can fulfill, you know, we'll do our best to make a product to fit that need. So
very cool. Now, I think the stuff that you started out with, or at least the stuff that I'm familiar with, was your like shooting bags, like backpacks, right?
Yeah, Big Bertha.
I love the names.
That thing is huge.
I want to talk about the names as we go on, but
sure.
That was the first product that you brought to market. I want to hear a little bit about like what brought you to that point. You're like, okay, we're going to release these products to market. This is what we're going to do. How did you get there from whatever you did before that?
Yeah. So, going to the shooting range a lot, like, in Illinois, we have a lot of indoor ranges. You can't really shoot outside like a whole lot. Like there's some clubs and things like that you can go to. But, one big need, like living in the city and the suburbs is that I saw was, you know, how could I make a discrete bag to carry just, you know, from your apartment or your townhouse or whatever to the car and then to the range, you know, without anybody thinking that it's like a gun bag or something like that. So, the Big Bertha then came out, which is probably a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but
it's huge.
Yeah, it's humongous.
It can fit one
I'm
Aaron.
wearing it right now. It's covering my entire person.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we launched it in 2016, and that was our flagship product. And I couldn't believe how well it did, and I guess how many people really needed something like that. So. And then we came out with subsequent bags, as you guys know, the Little Bertha and the Baby Bertha, to kind of like solve like the smaller bag problem in the similar form. So
yeah.
So can we talk about the Big Bertha real quick? Because I have one right here.
Oh, you do? Nice.
Is this the Big Bertha, the one I have here?
That's the Little Bertha.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus, there's one bigger.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like double that size.
God. This because the Little Bertha is huge.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
It's got the Little Bertha holds. It's got straps for two it's got
pistols.
Pockets. Yep, 2 pistols. And what would you put in your targets and stuff in this pouch?
Yeah, targets.
Armor.
Or like some people use it as like their EDC, and you can put a tablet or something like that.
I would totally consider that. Spots to slide magazines into, and then you have another pouch it has 4 more pockets or interior
8 pouches
per side. I was gonna say 4 per side.
And those fit 100-round boxes too. So by the time you like fully fill that thing up, I mean you're looking at like 40 to 50 pounds. And the Big Bertha could fit like 60, 70, 80 pounds.
And we haven't even got, and there's still more pockets. There's more pockets after that. But all right, so let me ask you this. This is my question.
Sure.
Every time I look at this bag and I see your logo on there, I think high efficiency washer and dryer. Because it looks a lot like the same logo. And I'm not trying to dog you out here, but
no.
Your graphic designer is
terrible.
He's ripping people off.
That guy should have been old logo.
Fired.
It was Greg.
Was it you?
Well, no. I actually bought the company from another gentleman out of Illinois. But right after I bought the company, I changed the logo. Except it takes a while to make all the products, be able to have the new logo on it. Just because we got to, fulfill all the older inventory and things like that.
Yeah, no, totally. Because I saw that every time I catch it on the side of my eye, I'm like, oh, I got to buy some laundry detergent. It just reminds me, which is great. But
it's a good reminder.
I hated that fucking logo, man. Like that was like the one thing that really pissed me off.
Why is everyone saying I'm hammered? I've had like 2 sips of whiskey.
Oh man, I've been drinking pretty early since I'm on vacation right now. But.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we got 8 inches of snow today. Yesterday I was using the leaf blower, and today I had to use the snow blower. It's fucking ridiculous.
I really hope the jack for my plow gets here so I can actually put it on my truck before we get that much snow.
Yeah, it was like all day, and then my wife came home. She's like, "Why didn't you snow blow the driveway?" And I'm just like, "Because I was playing video games all day. Leave me alone."
Get out of here.
Exactly. No,
No,
it's
but
awesome.
that thing, that bag, the little Bertha is ridiculously huge.
I've
Yeah, it's like
actually,
Yeah.
2 pistols. I mean, really, that's it. I could fit a ton more than 2 pistols in that thing.
Oh, totally you can,
Yes.
but you don't need to. That's the nice thing is, you know, it is
It's got
so many pockets.
you
Yeah.
could fit more in there, but it's got spots for 2 pistols.
Yes.
Correct, yeah. And with the Big Bertha, it holds 4 pistols, and then you could fit like an SBR, like 20 inches long, like 21 inches long, and
That's
I mean,
not that's
you
not
can
an
throw
SBR,
like your compact guns in some of the other pockets and things like that too. So.
I've always wanted to just fill a Big Bertha until I literally couldn't even carry it, just like with high points.
though. Oh, so like 3.
So, like 6 of them.
So I was counting today. I have 11 high points. I think that would test its durability.
That could be your designated high point bag.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only one strong enough to carry them all.
I think the bag is actually worth more than the high points.
Okay, Savage. Again, Savage, nobody f***ing asked you.
So the bags are only $25 then, huh?
Okay. No.
Are any of those high points the one with the dollar signs on it or the money signs?
No, I have no dollar points. I take high points very
No.
seriously. I've got one with an
Okay.
optic and a like specialized quick draw holster.
We still need
Perfect.
to eat.
No, I do. I was actually looking. The first thing I did, got set up with a bunch of distributors. The first thing I did was look up the Yeet Cannon High Point to see who had the cheapest price. It's going to be my first purchase
Oh no!
as an FFL.
Perfect.
And they'll immediately ban you.
That's
They'll be
okay.
like, "All right, here's your high point. Never contact us again."
No regrets. #, worth it.
Did you guys know that you can't even own a high point in Illinois because they're considered disposable?
What?
Yeah.
That's
so like,
amazing.
even if I wanted to buy one, I couldn't, you know?
I feel like you should challenge that in a court or something.
Yeah.
How the f- are they disposable?
There's a law in Chicago about like Saturday night specials, and it's been on the
correct.
books for a long time.
Oh, so
I mean-
that raises.
That's the Saturday night special thing is a national thing too, though. I think it just means something else on a national level because that's where they passed the point system, so you can't import guns that don't meet a certain level of point or a certain number of points. So like tiny cheap 380s and stuff can't be imported.
Yeah.
There's like a melting spec for that too, I think.
Huh.
And that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Or there was at
Yeah.
one time.
That's pretty crazy. I don't even know.
I heard that you can't buy it in Illinois, but they don't enforce the law if you like went to Indiana to buy it and then bring it back.
That's so dumb.
But you can't bring a pistol, back across state lines.
but rifle.
But the high point carbine.
Oh yeah.
Or if you lived there and you purchased one and then moved.
Tim B says melting
Yeah.
point law.
Yeah,
I thought
correct.
that
Yeah,
got
that's it.
overturned at some point.
I don't
I mean,
care.
that's pretty
Honestly,
awesome.
I don't care.
So Greg,
Aaron got 8 inches.
Greg being
Not my wife though.
being from Illinois, like, have you been into guns your whole life, or
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
was that difficult in Illinois, or did you just move there like later?
We always shot up in Wisconsin. Like whenever we would go shooting, my father and my grandpa, they were big bullseye shooters, which is really, really boring. Everybody's into IDPA and all that stuff now, but we would go up to our farm in Wisconsin to shoot. Mainly,
Nobody's into
you know.
IDPA anymore.
Good. No, I'm just kidding. Oh God, I just got so much hate mail.
So it looks actually like that melting point law is specific to Illinois.
Shut
Yeah.
up,
Not
Savage.
nationally.
Yeah,
No one
that's what he
asked
said.
you.
Just kidding, Savage. Thank you for looking that up, buddy. I really appreciate your contributions.
I treasure your friendship, Sean.
Thanks. When Greg first got on, he's like,
Just him off already.
when Greg first got on, he's like, "Who's the new guy? I've met the rest of you," and it was Savage. Savage. That's good stuff. All right, so you did the packs, the Baby Bertha, the Big Bertha. What's going on with the names? Like, I love them because they're kind of just flippant. And
Yeah.
what's going on with that?
I don't know. I felt like we needed to do something creative, and I was trying to figure out a name. Originally, the Big Bertha was called like the Hackett Original, and I just thought that was like really boring. And now like we have the Big Bertha, Little Bertha, Baby Bertha, and then the rifle burrito too. And I was trying to think of names where we could come out with patches with, because I don't know, it's something that we like to have fun, kind of like you guys. You guys are very eclectic. I would like to say in like the shooting world, and
did he call us?
What the
fun and don't care.
No, that's true. That's true.
So right here we have your new logo apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And
you got the burrito.
I do have a burrito. I love burritos, and it's Monday, but for every day is Burrito Tuesday.
Yeah,
Aaron loves putting burritos in his mouth. Personally, I prefer taco.
Anything tubular shaped.
My favorite part about what just happened is Greg seemed surprised that you had a burrito. Like, who the sent it to you?
Wait,
it was probably me.
He's like, what?
Yeah.
No, how did you get one of those?
Yeah, so I'm sure this will come up. It's red inside. It's very red inside. What?
So why don't you tell us what is the rifle burrito, Greg? Sorry.
So the rifle burrito is a shooting mat and rifle backpack. It's really interesting, actually. The outside is made of like a PVC coated like water resistant material, and then the inside is made out of this like fire resistant material. And the material doesn't exist anywhere else in the world except in the rifle burrito. It was like specifically designed just for the burrito. And I mean, that thing could like we designed it to be like really tough, yet I mean we're kind of like silly too, so that's why we put the red on the inside too, and it kind of fits the name as well, So
yeah,
I thought you were going to say it's tough but gentle enough for a woman.
It actually is.
Actually, I've seen people use it as like a picnic mat.
We do. So okay, we have one here in Colorado, and we use it for its intended purpose, but we also just use it if we're like trying to do some pickup video or something where we're just talking and not actually doing any shooting. Like I literally just sit it down and use it. But we had it the last time we took it out, we had it up on that stupid hill where we were zeroing Steve's rifle. Just like on the most uncomfortable, rough, like cactus-filled terrain ever. Honestly, like we treat that thing like it's nothing, kind of like we treat Savage. Because like I'm like let's try to tear it up, like literally just setting it down on cactus and then shooting.
I was about to say,
he's also literally tried to tear it. He's like, but he just can't do it.
I don't have any hand strength.
So whenever I go into Colorado and we go shooting, and we lay down on the ground, I always end up on some sort of freaking cactus. So I really appreciate these things now.
Yeah. So we've used it for that. I've used it on concrete. I've used it on dirt and sand. We've used it in weeds and like cactus-filled stuff. And so far, it's actually holding up pretty well. And I say on the show all the time that I appreciate products that can be used for multiple purposes. And this is definitely one of those things because it does carry the rifle. Generally, I carry a rifle in it. It's got 2 straps inside and then 2 pockets to set it in if it's long enough to actually reach those pockets, or you can just set it in one side. It's got backpack straps on it, and it turns into a shooting match. And I've even seen a lot of people actually do patches, like patch wall inside of it as well.
Yeah, it turns into a patch wall too, which is really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I like it.
You said it's heat resistant on the inside. So if I'm shooting my suppressor all day, can I drop it in there and not melt it?
I think if it's under 500 degrees, it should be fine. Suppressors can get up to like 800 degrees if you like blast like 1,000 rounds through it like really quickly. So I'd like to see what would happen, but I
don't want to ruin my suppressor or my rifle burrito.
I actually didn't know that it was heat resistant because I'm always pretty careful about putting rifles and suppressors in there until after they've sat until they're cool.
But now,
I'm gonna like drop actual fire directly in it.
Yeah, I mean, the specific purpose was to make it fire resistant. So, like, if sparks were coming out of the barrel or something, your shooting mat wouldn't go on fire. So
that's awesome, man. I didn't realize that. I love the rifle burrito. I do like the packs, but the rifle burrito it's one of my fave things. Just because I didn't have a shooting mat, I needed one, and I kind of got everything all in one. It's one of the things I dig. The patch is amazing that comes in there.
Yes, yeah. Yep, that was Neo Tactical Gear who did that, and he's an awesome designer. So
That's awesome. I want to go back to a little bit of the beginning here when you first started introducing the packs.
Sure.
In my opinion, you've done a good job engaging like new media and social media and stuff like that. But let's talk about when you first got in. What was the response, and kind of what were your marketing plans as you got started?
yeah, basically the Big Bertha got really, really popular on Facebook, and then Facebook banned us for probably about a year. And I think a lot of people go through the same thing trying to advertise on social media. That was an interesting song.
Yeah, what was that?
It was like a vacuum cleaner and
Spring?
yeah.
It did not come from my end.
Me either.
Savage,
Mom,
mute
turn off
yourself.
the vacuum.
It's not me.
All right, sorry, Greg.
No. So Facebook really put a damper on everything and basically halted sales of Big Bertha. And so I had to figure out a bunch of different ways to distribute the product, and then as well as come out with other products that were more friendly for I guess social media advertising as well. So the industry has been really interesting as far as what they're allowing people to do. I mean, even Amazon and different places, it's really difficult to get things going as far as that goes. So
Yeah, I can imagine. So working with Instagram people and stuff like that, that's where I see your product the most, I think, is kind of doing some of that stuff.
Yeah. So the rifle burrito, we mainly use Instagram for launching that product, and that we used a lot of people to kind of get the word out and things like that, and even Instagram now is kind of lessening people's reach, and it's a lot harder for people to get traction on Instagram too. So
yeah, no doubt, it definitely is. So we've got the rifle burrito that came out, and then you mentioned earlier that that you basically do range gear. So you've introduced a couple of different things since then. What are those?
Yeah, so the newest product we released is our leather gun belt, and this was something that we were really trying. We've been working on gun belts for about a year now, and it's something where we thought we could make it cheaper than everybody else and still provide the same quality. And I think we've definitely achieved that. They're up for pre-order right now, and they'll be shipping out in a week or two. But alongside that, we also just released Baby Bertha, and it's a one pistol concealed carry backpack. And I actually wanted to get your guys' opinion on something. What do you guys think about people drawing from a bag?
It's stupid. Never do it.
Right, yeah. So from our perspective, we didn't really like that. And a lot of people want this quick draw backpack kind of deal, and we just don't really agree with that's the way you should conceal carry,
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of off-body carry.
Correct.
It's too many steps. It's unzipping. It's unclasping. It's and when you need a firearm, it's usually in the moment. It's not give me a second.
Right. Not to mention you go sit down somewhere
Hang on,
and
guys.
somebody grabs your bag.
Yeah, I understand all those things, and we all feel that way, right? However, there is a part of the culture that doesn't really do that. They carry as a matter of convenience, and they carry in bags. I spent some time with the Rocky Mountain Tactical Ladies Association, and that day they practiced drawing from bags, purses, whatever. And I literally spent an entire day drawing out of
your purse?
No, a man's satchel.
No, it was a
purse.
It was a satchel.
Fanny pack.
It was a satchel.
It had tassels and sequins.
And at the end of the day, we even shot through it. So I totally agree. I'm not down with it. I think it's a bad form of carry, but there's people out there that do it. And I think that, they're not going to listen to anything that we say about it. They're just going to do what they want to do. So anyway, sorry to derail us here, Greg. Go ahead.
No. Actually, I was looking for an answer because I didn't know how many people had the same philosophy as us as far as that goes. We're not really into making something that's like quick draw from a bag, because we just don't feel like that's the way, you should carry. However, the Baby Bertha came out because, a lot of people need a gun bag to go to work with, and they can't always like work with a gun on them, but it's nice to have something by your side still. So.
Yeah, totally. That's a tough one, man. I think that realistically, there's a lot of people out there who don't listen to these shows, who don't watch YouTube videos, who don't care, who literally carry a gun just so they survive or just so they can go for a jog or whatever and not have to worry about dying. There is a market for things like that. Like Alexo Athletica makes yoga pants that have holsters built into them and things like that. So, there's markets for it. I don't recommend it, but there's probably people out there who will buy it.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. I totally lost track because I got all indignant about you guys.
I have a couple quick questions about your guys' belts. So I'm looking at your page for your belt, and it says that you guys don't have any sort of liner or anything. So, like, I've had leather belts that were meant to be used as a gun belt, and they had like a plastic insert, or some of them have a metal insert. And yours says that you use primo quality leather, so you don't need an insert.
Correct.
Can you expand on that at all? Like, is this something that I can load down and have like a couple of AR mags and a couple of pistol mags and a pistol and a like a blowout kit, or is this intended for concealed carry?
Yeah, it's intended for concealed carry. The reason why we didn't need to put like a steel core or like a plastic insert in it was because just like the rifle burrito, where we developed a new material specific for the bag, we kind you the tanning process specifically for the belt. So because we modified how you actually tan a belt and for how long and the chemicals you use, we were able to like get that stability without having to use anything, to help reinforce it. So that's kind of like our claim to fame on that, and why it took us a year to come out with a leather belt.
Nice,
right on.
Yeah, it makes sense. I haven't had any hands on with these yet, but they look cool. I do like the embossed kind of like low key logo at the tip of the belt.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
And then it's just the tip. And then we have that really big Hackett logo like on the side of the belt as well.
Oh, I didn't even see that till just now.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's better than the HE one. I'll be honest.
Yes, thank
High
you.
efficiency belt.
Also, over in our live chat too, one of our viewers says, please tell him his bag saved my ad. I assume he means ass. When I had to evacuate during the fires. I asked which one, and he said the smaller one.
So the Baby Bertha.
Yeah. Or, well, not the baby, because he said that just came out.
Probably the little Bertha.
The little Bertha,
yeah. And that's awesome to hear. And the Big Bertha too has a lot of people bought it for like Katrina and like their hurricanes and stuff. It makes a great like bug out bag for your firearms and whatever else. People use it for all sorts of reasons, but I actually hear that a lot, and it's really cool. To hear that it was able to help someone in a time of need. So
yeah, well, that's our buddy Roden. He's over in California, and of course, everything in California is on fire.
Yeah, this is like weeks ago.
So yeah, it was pretty recent.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting because the products you make, you guys, you'd think you're all over the spectrum. What you sell,
Yes,
because you have belts, you have bags, and you have glasses as well.
Savage is all over the spectrum.
Yeah,
just a specific part of the spectrum.
Aren't we all?
I'm not.
Say that.
Shut up.
We didn't want to like limit ourselves, and as far as being all over the spectrum, like we actually kind of get criticized for that. But if we can't, we don't want to just like come out with bags just to come out with bags. If we can't solve a problem, we're not going to solve it. So, there's other companies that will like come out with like a copy of someone else's bag and put their logo on it. Like that's just not us. So,
yeah, I think you got to diversify your bonds.
So I'm gonna dog on
Your
you again
stocks.
here.
Cool.
So you sent me 2 pairs of your glasses, and I took them out and I put them on my rubber dummy, pulled out the shotgun, and from about 20 feet away, I shot them. And I'll be honest with you, I was really disappointed that the frames were destroyed, but the lenses were just fine. So you need to make the frames out of the same things that you make the lenses out of, and we should be good.
Yeah,
And
but
actually, we're working on a new material. We're in production right now of a new material that is a lot stronger than what we used in the previous frame. So,
And I'm just kidding, because I was really impressed that the lenses held up. To be honest with you,
yeah, that's the most important part.
right? Because that's where my eyeballs are.
Correct.
The rest
Yeah.
is just to make the eyes look good around.
But don't you want to be able to wear a sweet eye patch?
I do actually, but I need a scar from like my forehead down to my cheek to make it worth it.
all right,
I can
guys.
help you with that.
We're talking to Greg from Hackett Equipment. We're going to take a brief moment and just hear from our friends over at Swamp Fox Optics. So I was posting on Reddit today. I haven't been in our guns for a long time, so I decided to post 3 posts and see if they kicked me out. Back when Iron Chin was a mod, he let me do whatever I want, but that changed.
What happened to Iron Chin?
He died.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. I don't know.
Aaron.
Savage.
No, all right.
That happened, Savage.
So
Look what you
listen,
started.
I know. I'm sorry. Jeez. Anyway, I posted a picture of my Polymerator PF940 with a long slide, and it has a Swamp Fox red dot on it. And I was talking to a couple people back and forth about that. And it fits the RMR cut. It sits above my suppressor height sights. Yeah. So that I can see the dot over those, which means I'll be able to see it over most suppressors. And just people seem to be pretty curious about Swamp Fox. And if you're curious, if you're Swamp Fox curious, go to Swamp Fox Optics and use coupon code WLS15, and it saves you 25% off.
Curious.
See, the discount's too big to even put in the coupon code, so we just wanted to make sure that we confused you. But it's 25% off. It's the best discount in the entire industry on those optics, and you can find more at swampfoxoptics.com. And whether you have questions about any of them, just let us know. We'll answer with what we have. We just recorded a video. Aaron, you were probably editing that today or last night or something?
I was going to edit it last night, but then we ended up playing Call of Duty till like
Late.
in the AM.
Yeah.
And then when I got up this morning, I was going to edit it, but then I started playing Call of Duty again. So I'll try to get to it tomorrow.
So that'll be coming out sometime in 2020.
Along with 2 of my videos that are still in the queue.
When Trump wins re-election, we'll release that video.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, that'll do. Savage, don't you dare.
I don't what?
We're back with Greg from Hackett Equipment. So, Greg, how's the gun industry been? You'd been a gun owner and shooter your whole life, but now you kind of moved into it. Did you have any big surprises?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of something specific, but my first time at SHOT Show was kind of a big surprise, just on how I didn't realize how big it was when I got into it. I mean, like you hear the mainstream like gun brands and things like that, but I didn't realize how expansive the accessory market was for basically everything. Like, I mean, SHOT Show's got like 3 miles of booths, and it's just like you can't even walk it in a weekend.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. You were up in the new product pop-up, right?
Yeah, we did the pop-up preview. That's like a day event. That's the same spot where they have like the supplier showcase and things like that. But we're actually not doing a booth this year. We're kind of going as more of a recon type scenario, and just to kind of hang out with everybody. The booths take a lot of work, and yeah, I mean, it's fun and everything, but it's an all day affair, and being on your feet and things like that, it's just not something we want to do. So.
It's probably more worthwhile to go to like a place where you can actually sell your products to the general public too.
Like NRA or
Yeah. So we did NRA, and that was actually also really cool, and equally as expansive. I think some of you guys were there, right? We did the NRA. You guys had like a party at the brewery.
Oh, wait a minute. We had the best NRA party.
The most
Yes.
amazing. It was amazing because nobody got shocked.
I was waiting for him to say you guys had like a little party. I'd be like, all right, that's Hackett Equipment. Thanks for coming.
No. No, you guys have like a crazy cult following, and they'll go anywhere. So
They definitely do. But yeah, I mean, NRA is my favorite, and SHOT Show, like, I struggle with that one because I'm like, do we want to go? How long do we want to go? Normally we go for 8 days or something crazy like that.
Too long.
It is. It's too long. And you know, you think, okay, well, we'll drink like once and then we'll be good. No, we drink every night. It's not
it
good.
becomes a long ordeal.
Sometimes we're like, let's just get it out of our system like the first night,
We did that one year. It
and
was
then
great.
we'll be sober for like 2 days. And then
Remember that night Jeremy fell asleep while we were eating nachos?
yes, that was amazing. And so we went to this little place, this little hot dog stand.
Yeah.
We got hot dogs and nachos, and this lady is telling us about how like
just got out of jail.
yeah, she just got out of jail and like she's just back to work and stuff. And we were like, what were you in for? And like as she's handing us her food, it was like health code violations.
That was the hot dog place by Wahlburger. Don't go there.
Well, I mean, I'm sure she's probably back in jail by now.
Oh, that's true.
Remember that time we had to drag? Remember that time Sean lost his jacket and shirt?
And my Fitbit.
Yeah, and his Fitbit.
Yeah, that's the one that I don't get. Like, how did I lose my polo?
Remember that time when Sean was so hungover that he didn't want to go ride go-karts with us?
Yeah.
But he pretended like he had a cold and he drank a bunch of Dayquil?
I did actually have a cold.
Remember that time that Sean passed out in that giant bathtub we had in our room?
That one
And
was,
he was like,
the year before me.
No, he got up
Or
in the
before I
middle of the,
went.
he got up like in the middle of the night, put on a pair of swim shorts, and was like laid in that hot tub with only, like,
2014 was that year.
Yeah.
2 inches of water, like it was like the huge helper there.
We made
Remember-
a patch about that one.
Remember that time when we were in Illinois
Okay,
And,
you know what?
and Sean got up in the middle of the night and peed in his suitcase? I'm pretty sure.
Whoa.
Was that the bullpup shoot?
Yeah. So here's the thing. So I woke up in the middle of the night and I hear the sound of water pouring and I roll over and Sean is standing over his suitcase. But the next morning, all of his clothes were dry as far as I'm aware. And he has no idea what happened. So like, I don't know if I dreamed this. I don't know if he was standing there and the pouring water sound was unrelated somewhere else. I don't know what happened, but it's one of the biggest mysteries of my life.
It's like that guy, the magician who pours water into a cup and then turns it over and nothing comes out.
Yeah, right?
Maybe Sean's so old since he turned 50, he just pees dust.
I'm not
Maybe.
50.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe that was the sound of
Dust that comes
pouring
out of it.
dust.
Hey, Aaron, off. You look like a dirty Santa. You look like if Santa was a horror movie.
And I'm not the
Whoa.
one peeing dust, though, brother.
Also, that room is right next to that bathroom that has like 10 showers in it.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody was like showering at 2 a.m.
Or peeing.
Or peeing in the shower.
Maybe I was just sleep drunk walking.
Well, I do think you were sleep drunk walking. Also, I was sleep drunk awaking. But I'm not sure if you were sleep drunk walking peeing or if someone was sleep drunk walking peeing in the bathroom.
I don't know.
Or sleep drunk showering.
Greg, tell us about your development process. Like when you're deciding to, I totally lost interest in that other conversation. Specifically, let's talk about Rifle Burrito because I think that was
Sure.
an interesting one. Like, tell us, how did the whole thing start? Were you like, let's come up with a product? Did you get the idea? And then tell us how the development worked, or just like from start to finish, from the first time you ever considered it until production. What was the process like?
Yeah. Rifle Burrito took like 2 years, and it actually was supposed to be an attachment for the Big Bertha. And when we were first developing it, the padding was really, really thin. And it was not a good product at all. And we locally made like 50 of them and kind of just tested the market to see what people said about it. Usually when we do something, we send an email to like our main customers. And they bought, it was like what was it called? The Big Bertha rifle attachment or something like that. And it was so cheesy, and we really wanted to figure out a way to make it better because we thought there was like a need for it still. And so instead of making an attachment, it was a standalone bag. And even though it doesn't have any pockets or anything like that, like we wanted to make something that was very simple. People take more than one bag to the range anyway. So To have something that could fold out, you could comfortably shoot on it, and it's going to be water resistant and all that too. Like that's we got feedback from like all of our customers and basically took that and ran with it.
That's awesome. So you got the feedback. You mentioned that like heat resistant and water resistant, and you mentioned that the material on the outside is just made for. It was kind of created for this.
Correct.
Like, how does that go? People definitely are interested in like how that process happens. It's like, I mean, clearly you're not in your bathroom like with beakers and test tubes and stuff like that, and sewing machines.
No, with all of our products, we work with professionals that really know how to create a product and how to make it better. And for instance, for the rifle burrito, we had different fabrics sent to a bunch of labs, and we didn't do the testing ourselves in the bathtub. They did. So we were working with one fabric specialist, and they were able to kind of create this crazy concoction where it's like water resistant on the outside, fireproof on the inside, or I guess I should say fire resistant, and could also hold patches, which is like, that was actually an accident. The fact that you could throw patches on there. So it was kind of like a cool fluke, I guess, to when we were designing that.
That's awesome, man. And then, so you kind of, was it iterative? You get back, hey, we came up with this material, and you're like, yeah, that works pretty good. But what about, this kind of thing? And then, so you just go back and forth a lot, I imagine.
Yeah. That's why it takes so long, is the back and forth and the testing. And I think Sean, we showed you the earliest version of the rifle burrito maybe 2 years ago.
Yep.
Where it wasn't red on the inside, everything was all black, and you definitely gave us some insight on how to make it better as well. So we just like to send samples and things like that to people that are very knowledgeable and that could give us like real world advice and practical like applications, because being in Chicago, we kind of live in a bubble here, so it's kind of hard to test a long range, like something meant for like a long range rifle in Chicago. So
yeah, there was one idea that I had for it that didn't make it into it, and it was the only thing that I was like, oh. Do you remember?
I knew it was going to come to this too. Yeah, you wanted a spot for the shooting instructions.
Yeah,
right?
the dope sheet.
Yeah, I remember.
Yep, that's exactly.
And then a spot to put like a couple cases of ammunition too.
Yeah, that one I'm less attached to. The dope sheet I think is still good, and maybe even like bipod straps on the outside.
Well, so since the fabric is Velcro on the inside, what people have been doing is putting their own like Velcro on their instruction sheets and putting it on there. So it's kind of like customizable in that regard. That's
good. You totally laminate it and then put Velcro on it. That's a really good idea, actually.
Right.
I didn't even think of that. Problem solved.
Yep.
Now, man, I dig the rifle burrito. Let's talk pricing. For Big Bertha, Little Bertha, and Baby Bertha. What are those prices off the top of your head?
Yeah, so Big Bertha is $99.99, Little Bertha is $79.99, and Baby Bertha is $59.99. And we always give like coupon codes. So for your listeners, we're doing a We Like Shooting coupon code, WLS, 20% off. So
what?
For anybody who's listening to this right now, they can get 20% off everything in store. So
it's WLS 20% off. That's a really long.
The code is WLS 20.
No, that's awesome. The rifle burrito is $99.99. I think rifle burrito might be my favorite. It's the one I definitely use the most.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. We use it. We take it pretty much every time we go to the range. It's replaced one of our other gun bags that we used to take and put rifles in.
Perfect.
One of the things that we learned early on filming is that you're in the middle of nowhere, and we film every single week. We take our crew out, cameras, tons of cameras, ammo, everything else, and we're testing basically untested products, like untested rifles, untested optics, and we always ended up in problems. So we always take one rifle that we know is 100% zeroed, completely solid, completely set up, and usually it
We
goes.
do.
Yeah, yeah. For the last 2 months, every time we go, I've been taking one of my rifles, just so we don't end up with stuff like that. And that's usually it goes in the rifle burrito, and it comes out and sits on the table. If we need it, cool. If we don't need it, also cool. But yeah, we've been using the rifle burrito on pretty much everything that we've been doing.
So I have a question for you guys as far as the burrito goes. Like, do you feel that the padding is sufficient for the rifle that you're putting in there?
So the thing about me and my guns is that something like this basically exists so that I can carry it to the vehicle without people freaking out.
Yeah, same.
And also so that when I like lay down, I don't take cactus spines in my ding or whatever. So like if I could and have people not freak out, I would literally just walk out to my vehicle and throw my gun in. So I don't really care about padding that much.
Yeah, for me, for protection of the gun, I don't care at all. For protection of me when I'm like laying on the worst ground in the universe, that's all I really care about. And I think that it's
Perfect.
Yeah, I have never said to myself, I wish this thing was more padded.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was like one of our major like concerns was we still had to like make it foldable and
Right.
have enough padding, to secure the rifle, to protect the rifle, and to protect the shooter. So
Plus, if you make it too thick, it's going to be like you're walking around with a rolled up mattress or something, and nobody wants that.
That would be awkward. So that one comes in 36 inches, 42, and 46. I just saw in the chat. Oh yeah, Roden said, "I hope they make a 52-inch version of the burrito."
What about a 76
52?
inch?
That's a highly requested length, actually. And before we expanded, actually, we're going to be making smaller and longer lengths. So we're going to make like an SBR form, and then 52 all the way up to 56 as well. So
there you boom.
Yeah.
That just happened.
So what else you got in the pipe?
Yeah.
Down?
What else, man? So much going on.
We're actually launching a new product this week, and nobody else knows about it but you guys in a second. So we're making a fully custom leather gun belt where if you're like part of a gun range, a shooting club, or something like that, you could personalize these gun belts. And we were able to make a whole bunch of different colors of leather. And I think I sent you guys a picture earlier today, right?
Yep, I got it. I'll show Nick.
Yeah, so
Thanks for sharing, Sean.
Oh yeah, my bad. Well, dude, I don't share anything with you guys because that way I stay in the circle of trust.
So our launches are always kind of a moving target, kind of like a Manicore Arms. Like, sometimes, they'll say they'll launch something on a certain day, and then all of a sudden, like, it's like the day before or whatever. But our plan is to get it out there on Friday to make it available for orders, and so everybody can get it by Christmas. It takes a long time to make a fully custom leather belt, but it's something like kind of more personalized than a standard leather belt. So
speaking of belts,
we're actually really excited for this.
Actually, yeah. Hold on, Aaron. There is so many colors. Holy and so you could do like what the level of customization. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but like it is a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, so you can inside color, outside color, edge color, outside text color, inside text color.
Yeah, you could put text on the outside. It's embroidered into the belt and embroidered on the inside as well. There's two different belt buckle colors, black and silver, and then I think we actually made like a Trump 2020 belt. Don Trump Jr. Was messaging us like a couple of weeks ago, and we made a belt for him. So that was that belt.
Did he pay for it?
No, he didn't pay for that.
Aaron, did you pay for your rifle burrito?
No.
Then shut the up.
No, I think there's a difference between me and Don Jr. though.
Yeah, Don can afford it.
Right, exactly.
Like tons of different fonts.
What? No OD green? What the?
No, there's OD green on there,
but they have red leather. I mean,
black
what's
on my computer screen?
No, it looks OD green on mine.
You shared it with Jeremy?
What is cooler than red leather? I mean, basically nothing. And they have red, so
No, they have blood red and EMT red.
Right? Like,
correct.
All right. So my question
doesn't
is,
get cooler.
what's the biggest belt you ever had to make?
The biggest belt?
Yeah.
I think it's this is going to be funny. 56 inches. Yeah.
Sean?
No, not me.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, no.
Nick?
But on 56 inches, you could put all 27 words of the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could do it on 1 inch, but
Yeah, but these could be big f***ing letters.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't launched the product yet, but we're excited to see how this one goes because we feel like a lot of different like competitive shooters and anybody who wants to like give a gift for someone like something cool, that you could kind of like totally customize. We're just really excited for the product. So
Does it have snaps so I can put a belt buckle on it?
yeah, you could change out the belt buckle. It comes with a roll style belt buckle that a lot of people. It's like a really popular style, but if you wanted to put like a regular like belt buckle on there, you can do that too.
No, I have like a big belt buckle.
Like a Texas belt buckle, right?
Like a belt buckle.
Yeah.
Western style.
Jerry's like,
we have like the Chicago screws that you could take it out and put something over it as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
okay, the level of customization, I'm like going crazy right now. That is. I'm trying to figure out like what font I want. That's pretty cool.
I actually figured you guys would like this because you could tinker with it and have so much fun with it. Like,
yeah.
See, I think that these kind of belts are really good for skinny people, but people like me, I put the belt on and the rest of me just oozes over the top of it.
Well, just think of it this way, Aaron. You could put like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious across the back of it.
And just think of this, Savage. You could put anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Or I am part of the proletariat.
Or Nick, you could put pneumono ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Wow.
Those are they're the longest words I know. I don't know.
I could put the on it.
Actually, Aaron could put "I didn't pay for this."
All right, so Greg, will you make me a promise right now?
yes.
Can you promise me that I will be the first person to get a belt that says Epstein didn't kill himself?
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
There's
if we had more foresight, we would have made that 6 months ago.
I was gonna say, just do it right now, man. That's hot marketing right now.
Yeah,
do
dude.
it.
Right?
And you
you should
like showing the
Epstein.
belt, then you flip it over. It's like Epstein didn't kill himself.
Right. And then the marketing could be a picture of Epstein using your belt.
Right.
Oh, that's awful.
Hold on. I don't even want to ask. Never mind.
Photoshop and then zoom in on the belt.
That's where I thought this was going. Yeah.
Wasn't the name of last week's episode? We don't have dirt on the Clintons.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it.
So, how much is all this customization going to cost when it comes out?
Yeah, so the custom leather belt, we're bringing the product out at $79.99, and the coupon code for the 20% off definitely works with this too. So
very cool, very cool.
Just ordered the rifle burrito and belt, Ancient One.
Very nice.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it, man.
Find out the names of the guards. You'll be ahead of the game. A chest belt for Aaron.
Does your belt double as a tourniquet?
Rad Roadbot says, what about one that's not red inside? I think you can make the inside.
The rifle burrito?
Oh.
I think he's probably talking about the burrito.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. We're like a lot of like law enforcement people are requesting something that's not red on the inside, because it's kind of high vis. And that's kind of a market that we're getting into now. So there's probably going to be some like more black and camo coming out in the semi near future. So
very cool. Andrew says all this burrito talk is going to make me go to Taco Casa.
Taco Casa.
I actually do want tacos, but I kind of always want tacos.
Aaron, where was your burrito patch on the burrito? I didn't see the patch.
Oh, it was on the inside, but I put it on my patch wall.
Oh, okay.
It's on the wall now.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
No, mine's actually ours is in the burrito, right?
Maybe.
I saw you guys did you guys really beat the crap out of that thing. Like I saw it like so dirty hanging on this like
on the spool,
like cable wheel thing.
Yeah, I was actually we're treating it poorly, just to kind of as part of the greater overall. Like I haven't ever cleaned it off
purely.
Yeah, poorly. I've never cleaned it off. Like it literally has dirt from every single, whether it has been like snow on the ground, whatever. Just to kind of see it. Literally, the inside has a ton of grass and stuff, just because Colorado and high desert.
It's legal there.
Yeah.
No, not that kind of grass. You keep your grass in the Big Bertha.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so we're abusing it and mistreating it. It goes to the range with us every single filming day, and so far I've been really, really happy with it.
And I actually condone all the abuse, by the way. And, we have a lifetime warranty, too, on all of our products. So, the more you abuse it, the more we learn from it, actually, too. So
that's awesome. I was just looking at the belts, and it says add 4 to your pant size to get your belt size. That's important information. Like, people don't do that.
So if you're carrying, exactly. If you're carrying concealed, the belt size is going to be bigger than like what you would typically wear without a gun in your pants. So a lot of people would just choose their actual pant size thinking, the gun's going to fit still. But so that's why we put that in there.
No, that's actually good because someone sent me a belt for review and they were like, what's your waist size? And I told them and they sent it and I was like, what is this, a belt for ants? Like I couldn't even wear it. And you think I'm going to call him back and be like, so apparently I'm way fatter than estimated. Can you please send it? No. I just put it in there until I lose 700 pounds.
Right.
So
Exactly.
never.
Yeah. And
now they're never going to get a review. So
I just slid my foot to the side and felt something touch my foot. And it was the foot of Keith Richards over here.
Of the skeleton. Dude, you actually panicked for a second.
I didn't. It was cold. It was hard. I didn't know what it was. It didn't feel right.
It was my...
When I touched it, it moved.
Yes.
Wait, you're cold?
Yeah. I have circulation issues.
You should go to the doctor right now.
Oh my God. Wait, are they supposed to be warm?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Hey, speaking of weird, so you guys sell steel targets?
Oh yeah, I saw that actually.
Yeah, is that a big mover for you guys? I mean, there seems to be a lot of people who sell steel out there.
And steel targets. So we found a local guy, and he was really passionate about his steel targets. And we're like, hey, why don't we just help you sell them? And I think we're pretty much selling our targets cheaper than anybody else out there. But they're not like a huge mover or anything like that. But I mean, someone looking for something that doesn't want to spend $500 on like a dual hostage target.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. That's pretty. It's a good price, $325.
Yeah.
Plus, I see that if you spend over $50, everything over $50 is free shipping, which is awesome.
Free shipping too. Yep. So
really,
as far as steel targets go, I'm pretty sure we're the cheapest in the industry with the same quality. I mean, and that pretty much goes across the board with all of our products.
That dual gong hostage target is cool as shit. It's got the flapper that goes side to side, 2 plates, and IPSC torso.
Yep.
I love the hostage targets. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't really understand all the swingy stuff around them. Like I just shoot the hostage.
Yeah, shoot the hostage. No, yeah, steel is it's fun. It makes for good videos. It makes for a lot of fun. It's pretty easy to transport as long as you're not savage. Just because you have to have some muscles to lift it.
I think Savage is stronger than all of us.
Remember that time Savage did all those pull-ups?
Dude, yes, actually.
He was like, guys, this is getting mildly annoying. Do I have to continue? And we were like, yeah.
Okay, there's the difference
and then he just continued.
Being stronger than you and being strong. Because you guys beat me all at arm wrestling, if I recall. Fired.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. I beat everybody except for Jeremy.
No, you didn't.
I totally beat you, Sean.
The third time, I was tired.
No, the first time.
No. We have it on film.
I don't remember ever arm wrestling, Aaron, but
yeah.
So
I beat everyone.
So basically, Savage, what you're saying is that it's because you're the lightest of us.
Pretty much.
Okay.
All right. Greg, did we miss anything? I think we covered it all.
Yeah, I think we did cover it all, actually. And I just want to say thanks again for having me on. I really appreciate it. You guys are freaking awesome. So
this is the part of the show where we start suggesting products for you to make now.
No, I mean,
sure,
this is
we're open.
All right, you know that rollout bag that the guy had in The Mummy?
yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
I want that.
oh.
Let me write that down.
Have you considered a rifle chimichanga? It's like the rifle burrito,
But it's fried.
but it's fried, so you can't unwrap it. It's just stuck.
I want the back scabbard that Ash Williams had in The Evil Dead.
Ooh, also a good call.
This is a boomstick.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I like
Any
that.
more?
I
Aaron,
just don't have anything that can sew leather.
Aaron, what else you got?
You know what? All right, here's the thing, and not to poach off someone else's idea, but when we were at range
Really?
day,
Because that's all you do.
okay.
Whoa.
So when we were at range day, it rained a lot, and Sean had this great backpack that had a rain cover built into it. Just throwing it, and if I've got my guns in a bag, I don't know how waterproof or water resistant your bags are because I've never had to deal with it in the rain, but just something to consider.
Yeah, I like that a lot too. Yep.
Yeah, the GPS bags have that.
What about a rifle tostada? So it's like the rifle burrito, but it just lays flat and you can never roll it.
What about?
How about the taco salad where you just put a bunch of guns in a big like a satchel and it just like
Yeah, and it cinches up so it's like a it's
a hobo bag.
almost.
Yes, like a bindle,
That would make a great patch too. Actually, the taco salad patch.
a bindle stick.
What
And
about?
your logo could be and your slogan could be "We want to toss your salad."
What about?
Perfect.
What about a rifle tamale, and then it just falls apart when you touch it?
Oh, but it's so good that it's worth it.
My favorite
A
is
lot
the
of
cheesy. My favorite's the cheesy gordita crunch. So it would be a little crunchy, a little hard on the inside, but soft on the outside.
What about
Like my.
just a $5 box? So it's just a box that's $5, and you can fit your guns in there, but it also comes with a medium drink.
Oh, but that medium drink is
there you go.
like 32 ounces.
Yeah.
Okay, are we done exhausting this path of questioning?
No,
Okay, I'm sorry.
I can keep this going.
What about a rifle gordita? We don't actually know what it is, but it's delicious.
Well, what about a hard case on the outside?
Can you
A lot of
offer?
people have been asking for a burrito for handguns, like a 4-pistol burrito that they could just like bring to the shooting range and like lay out flat.
Like a roll?
Would they be in a line, or would they be like in 2 rows, or?
I don't really know. I don't know what they're asking for yet. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But you'll know when I do.
All right, seriously though, if I were to give you one suggestion, and this is just for me, would be to add another panel onto the burrito so that it's longer.
Yeah, actually, that was one of Sean's other suggestions too, like something that folded out to kind of extend the length, the total length for sure.
Yeah, Aaron, so off.
What about?
Hey, whoa! I'm sorry, you had such a good idea that I also thought of it too.
Yeah, I thought of it 2 years ago.
What
But it
about?
makes-
Smart minds.
That's where I'm going, right? Like it's a flattering thing that I
Well-
thought of the same thing.
Why don't you guys shut up? Because I have a good idea that neither of you have thought about. What about the rifle sushi burrito, which is a rifle burrito, but you ship it with fish inside?
Unrefrigerated.
Yes, obviously.
Not
And
even the fish itself, just pieces of it.
yeah, and you utilize the slowest shipping method.
Oh God, Greg,
That's awesome.
What's coming next, man? You told us about the belts. Are you going to be in any shows before SHOT Show? Like any cool stuff coming up?
No, we're kind of really just focused on distribution right now, and we kind of put trade shows on the back burner. We'll be walking around at SHOT Show, and I'm sure we'll meet you guys and do all that fun stuff like we always do. But yeah, just right now we're just kind of laser focused on coming out with new products instead of just showing them off at a trade show. So
Awesome.
that's where we're at with that.
Prepare your hole.
Yeah, definitely come to our party at SHOT Show. I don't know where it'll be or what it'll be yet, but it'll be the best party, as was last year with Manticore
Yes.
Arms.
What about
Manticore
a
Arms again.
what
Don't
about
forget
a
to play,
rifle
Las Vegas
quesadilla?
Pokemon.
So you put the rifle in there, you fold it in half, and then you melt cheese in there.
All right.
And then when people try to pull it apart, like they just can't.
I don't care about this anymore.
Well, it's too bad because this is amazing.
Greg, where
If Sven's listening right now, he did throw an awesome party for SHOT Show last year, so I hope he does that again.
it was amazing. That was so much fun. What I remember of it. Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't
You
there.
weren't there. Greg, where can people find you online and buy stuff and all that good stuff?
Yeah, you can buy from us at hackettequipment.com and definitely check us out on Instagram. That's where we're most active. I think it's like Instagram.com/Hackett_equipment. And again, WLS 20 for 20% off.
All right. Very cool. Greg, I know you're on vacation. You can stick around with us for the whole show, but if you'd rather just actually go have fun and drink or whatever, that's fine too.
Sure. Thank you.
So are you going to take off or are you going to stick around?
I'm probably going to take off. Thank you, though.
All right, Greg, it's good catching up, and I'll see you at SHOT Show, if not sooner, man.
Way to out.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you again.
Thanks, Greg. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
That was fun, and I am so fucking hungry right now. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how much I want some Mexican food right now.
Thankfully, Albert Taco.
I got
Is a
some
thing.
Lebanese food in the fridge.
That's not even remotely the same thing.
Yeah, I have leftover chili in the fridge. I don't know what the that has to do with anything we're talking
It's
about.
food.
It's
Yeah,
not Mexican
I want
food.
Mexican food, Jeremy.
I had
Anyway.
Mexican last night.
Did you? What was his name? The way Jeremy's looking at me right now, actually, I'm scared.
I just look up and everybody's laughing except Jeremy, who looks f***ing pissed. Now he's smirking.
He's
but
so mad. My gut just suddenly got a big knot in it and a bruise. Oh, God. All right. It's time to talk about our friends at Patriot Patch Company. Go to patriotpatch.co. Use coupon code WLS for 10% off. And they sponsor our giveaway segment. So WeLikeShooting.com/giveaway is the place you can go, and you can get you can win stuff from Kennos Tactical Group, Black Rhino Concealment, Stuck Knot Customs, Blue Alpha Gear, and Patriot Patch Company, all there. You can enter to win them all. Cult members, theguncult.com, actually get extra entries every single month, and it's all available there. Go check them out. It is time to talk about our friends over at Faxon Firearms.
Dum dum.
All right, so this is Gear Chat brought to you by Faxon Firearms. Aaron, are you a dealer for Faxon Firearms?
I am not a dealer. I have not set up a dealer account, but I will.
I'm
I'm sure.
I am.
I'm
sure it's just a phone call away.
No, I had to fill out a form.
Yeah, you got to fill out the form.
I had to send in financial information.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll be okay.
You had to send in financial information. You had to send in financial information?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I texted Pat and I was like, "Hey, make me a dealer." And he's like, "You fill out the form," and then I had to do everything that all the steerage has to do.
Oh, yeah.
damn.
I mean,
No, I see.
I filled out the form, but there wasn't any financial info. Or
Jeremy,
Right.
are you a Faxon dealer?
I am.
Did you have to fill out the form?
I don't think I did. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Because when I
I'm
talked
not
to,
on 30-day terms or anything. I do everything cash. So
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too.
Right.
I was talking to Pat about it, and he's like, "Yeah, you're all set. Just give me a holler when you need something." I'm like, okay. So I guess I'm in a little bit tighter than you, Sean.
All right. Well, I mean, I text Pat at least twice a week, and we
Well, good
talk.
for you.
But apparently not. Jeremy, you have one of their FX19 pistols available for rent at the shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's that going?
Fine, I suppose.
Do you rent it? Are people interested in it?
People rent it occasionally. People walk in, they go like, "Oh, I want to rent a Glock," and you're like, "Okay, normal Glock or Gucci Glock?" And sometimes they pick the Gucci Glock. Sometimes they go, "Too rich for my blood."
Yeah, so that actually brings up the exact point that I wanted to talk about. So those run anywhere between $1,200 and $1,400, I believe. If you use coupon code WLSGUN, you save money. But I think they're awesome. So having built a bunch of polymer 80s and just custom stuff, right here, I've got a Grey Ghost Precision that has a Hellcat magazine in it. Nick,
Okay, Mr. Drunky.
no, you did that.
You've been drinking. That's why you threw that.
Barely any. Anyway, so what was I talking about?
Yeah, exactly, because it's 172, 272. I don't know.
I love how Nick's been trying to like spread this the entire night.
Actually, I had nothing to do with it. They started it, and I just continued it.
Yeah.
But 171 part 2.
So anyway, if you have put together like a custom pistol, like they're expensive. I was just looking earlier, and like just the slide for a machine slide at a lot of places is $450 or more, depending on what you get. And yeah, I love the FX19, the Patriot, and the Hellfire. If you've ever put together one, you'll realize that it's actually a really good deal for something that's put together. It's made in their factory, and they are definitely a good value. So if you want to check out more, go to faxonfirearms.com. Coupon code WLS-GUN saves you money on the guns and accessories and stuff. WLS10 saves you money there as well. Savage, why don't you start us off? I've been being rude to you, and it was all just for comic relief, and
it wasn't.
You know that you're my best friend.
Aw.
That's not what he said before.
Simon Says Train just said, "Look, it's Aaron from Grey Armory."
Oh no, I saw that.
Oh, that's delightful. So my product was just actually announced today. It's the Silencer Co. Omega 36M. It's a lot of words to fit into the name of a suppressor, but this one is kind of interesting. It's a very modular design here, so it's kind of a two-piece modular design where it can be either in a long configuration or a short configuration. The rear version has a fully welded core made out of Inconel baffles and Cobalt 6 and Inconel baffles, and then the front core set is a 17.4 baffle design. So this thing is rated for fully automatic fire. It can go on everything from a 22 on up to a 45 as far as pistols go, and up to 30-38 Lapua. So it's very configurable. You can go pistol or rifle, and pretty much every caliber other than 50. So I mean, I'd say it's a pretty good all-around modular suppressor if you want to just buy one suppressor that will do it all.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are interested in that, but at this point, I've got a couple things to say here. $1,200 for a do-all suppressor. That's a pretty good price, I think. Mm-hmm. Plus your $200 tax stamp. But I will say that historically, and Jeremy, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, but people that I think hold off on buying suppressors because of the time, because we've got this such a immediate instant gratification society going on right now that the time is one of the things that really pushes people out. And if they're like, well, if I'm going to get a suppressor, I want something that's basically going to work on just about everything that I have. So they order stuff like this. And I have always been a proponent of having suppressors that do multiple things, specifically because of A, the tax stamp, B, the time frame, and the cost, and C, the cost. But do you guys think that now that we're having 3-4 month return times for Form 4s, do you think that's going to change the way people buy suppressors?
I hope so.
I mean, only if suppressors for multiple calibers get a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I think one big thing is one, cost and time and inconvenience. And so a lot of people go out to buy a suppressor, and they don't want to have to go through this 4 times or 3 times or whatever to cover all the stuff in their inventory, all the guns they own. So as a result, a lot of them, do want suppressors like this. Hopefully, these reduced times will help with that, because it certainly reduces one of the issues, which is the weight. The tax stamp and the inconvenience. So the cost and the inconvenience is still an issue. I think that suppressors in some cases cost more than they need to, if that makes sense. Simply because, if you're going to go buy a suppressor and you're going to go through all the trouble and you're going to go through the hassle and the weight and all that, do you want to buy something that you absolutely know will be great, or do you want to take a risk and potentially spend less money and buy a bargain product that will probably be okay but might not? And if it's not, then that means you may end up having to go through that process again, So I think a lot of people are willing to spend more money on a product that they know for sure will be good and a product that will do more. Hopefully the lower wait times will help. I mean, I think the biggest thing that would help is if we didn't have to pay $200.
Yeah, right.
But
DNFA.
yeah, but of course that's not going anywhere anytime soon. So yeah, I think the multi-purpose can probably isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, Jeremy, thoughts? You're muted.
Yeah, all of that is not wrong. I still get people that say, like, I don't want them knowing what I got because it's a registered item. They know you have it, and they're like, nope. They won't buy. They straight up won't buy them because of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, good point.
Aaron, thoughts on that?
I think Nick nailed it right there.
Yeah, I agree. So I got to say that my faith is shattered in Silencer Co., but this does seem like a pretty cool product.
You know, honestly, though, I've never had a multi-use can that was, like, really good on one end of the spectrum or the other.
I mean, I've got the Silencer Co. Saker 762. It's not hearing safe on a 308. Even with a 24-inch barrel, it's not hearing safe. It hurts.
I have a Silencer Co.
You have an Omega, right?
No, the 5.56 can.
Oh, I don't know.
I forget the model of it. It's the long. There's like the K version, which is the shorter one, and then I have the normal size one on my 7.5-inch SPR. That thing's not hearing safe. That thing's still loud as, but it's a 7.5-inch barrel.
Yeah.
I mean, I think any multi-use item or product for what I mean, think about like a multi-tool, like a Gerber or something, right? Like, it's not as good as having a knife, and it's not as good as having a can opener. It's not as good as having pliers. But if you can only carry one thing, like, it'll do those things, and it'll do them well enough. So, like, a multi-use suppressor, like, no, it's not as good as having a dedicated 5.56 and 9mm and 30 cal can. However, you know, if a can runs you $1,000 plus a $200 tax stamp, and you can't afford to buy 3 cans plus, 3 tax stamps, yeah, it'll work for you. It'll get you by.
I mean, and I don't sell 9mm cans anymore. I just sell 45 cans.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a 9mm can, sure, I'll order you one. But it's kind of fucking pointless at this point.
Yeah. I'm just mad at my Silencer Co. because it's not hearing safe even for what it's made for, like 308.
Is it not? I mean, it is certainly not as quiet as our Bowers that we've compared it to.
Even some other cans that I've shot, like, it's
really
uncomfortable. And their mounting system, which cost me an extra $1,000.
Yeah, the mounting system
Jesus.
sucks.
No. So I had their Mad Mounts and then muzzle devices for like 5 or 6 rifles. And basically, I finally, after it locking onto my rifles, like, I don't know, 24 times, I finally had enough, got rid of it, and got a dead air quick mount, quick detach system, and then replaced all the muzzle devices with dead air. It cost me about $1,000 all told. And because of that, like, Silencer Co., I probably won't buy another product from them ever, just because of that mount system.
But would you take it if someone gave it to you for free?
No, if anyone wants a Silencer Co. Mad Mount, I have one.
What about that Silencer Co. pistol?
Yeah, I'd take one of those for free.
Maxim 9?
Yeah.
Those look kind of cool.
Yeah.
Only if it's full auto.
And don't forget, if you want to get a suppressor, do it as an individual, not a trust, and do the e-forms, or what is it, the kiosk, right?
If you have a family, it might not be a bad idea to do the trust.
Yeah, well, plan to wait 9 to 12 months. Right now, doing it as an individual and with kiosk barcodes is like 3-4 months.
I got one back in 70 days.
Yeah, so 2 months.
But I mean, you could get it and then move it to a trust. I mean, it'll take time for the people.
You have to pay another tax stamp.
You have to pay another tax stamp because you're moving it from, because the trust doesn't own it. So you go from you owning it to a trust owning it. That's a transfer. That's $200 stamp.
Yep.
That's retarded.
Yeah. So I mean,
ridiculous.
If you want it fast for yourself and you're a loner, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, so I have one suppressor.
There's a one-time taxless transfer upon death, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so it's not like it goes away.
Right, but I think the bigger issue that Savage is talking about is like it's Tyler and I sharing an apartment, and like if I leave a suppressor screwed onto my nightstand gun and I go run errands, like technically I can't do that if Tyler's at the house.
Correct.
But if she's on the trust, then it's no big deal. Or like if I go out of town, I can leave the setup for her, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Personally, yeah. I don't know. That's a tough choice. Do you want to wait? Do you not want to wait? There's benefits to the trust, but those benefits kind of went away a couple of years ago. So,
I mean, they're still there for family.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
you have
family.
to fingerprint everybody and do photos and stuff, but you can still,
dude. Having done that in the past, like, do you understand how difficult that shit is?
Oh, it's a pain in the ass.
No, I'm just saying not
for
all
sure.
of the benefits went away. Like the major benefit is still that you can.
Well, in the past, a
You're
lot of the
protected.
benefit was not those things, but in fact, you could have them there and they could have possession of it if required. Like, so definitely a trade off. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. You're right, but definitely a trade off. All right, my product tonight is a trigger for basically Glocks. So this is the tactical pontoon. I don't know exactly what the name is, but it's their EMV3 Phalanx trigger system. I'm going to read you the marketing. It says the EMV3 is named after the formation that the Spartans used in battle, standing shoulder to shoulder, creating an impenetrable barrier. Where one stood, they all stood, no backing down. The might of a few could stand against the many, no mere collective of brothers. The Phalanx or warriors, and the trigger system is named in honor of them. It's a flat-faced aluminum trigger shoe, polished and enhanced trigger bar, adjustable over-travel stop trigger block housing, high-performance connector, enhanced duty trigger spring. This is the one that is for their Gen 3, like the Polymer 80s and things like that. I've got this one in a Grey Ghost Precision, and we shot it the other day. What'd you think, Nick?
That's very nice.
Yeah. I actually agree. It's probably got a braking pressure of, by my estimation, I don't know. It feels like, what do you think, Nick? Like 5 pounds?
I don't know.
Seeing if they actually have it on their website.
So what? It comes with a ghost connector, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Everything is really nicely polished on it.
It is really
mirror
nicely polished.
Mirror polish.
Polished. Jeez. Polished
Yeah.
is what I just said.
I don't know. I would say it is closer to like 3.5, 4 pounds. It's pretty light.
It is pretty light.
The reset's really nice and short. It's
Yep.
very crisp.
Not super spongy on the back end like a lot of Glock triggers are.
The initial trigger pull, I'll say, has a decent amount of take up, in it, and
yep.
it is kind of spongy. But that reset's so good.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
We shot it at the range. Definitely enjoyed it. And these guys got in touch with us via Instagram and Exhale Weapons Works, or Weapon Works. And I got to say, it is something that I like. $185. It seems pretty much going price for a lot of the trigger systems that are out there, right in that neighborhood. And yeah, I got to say, it looks pretty. You can get it in a couple different colors. I'm on their website now. So they have them for Gen 1 to 3 Glocks, Gen 4, Gen 5 pre-order right now. Nomad 9, which is another frame that's out there right now, and then the 43, 43X, and 48. And you can get black, red, and then I've just got the aluminum, which looks great in the Grey Ghost Precision. There it is. So yeah, what do you guys think about kind of replacing Glock triggers and a lot of the ones that are out there for Polymer 80s and other things like that?
Honestly, my gunsmith, with all Glock parts, does a trigger job that is better than a agency and a CMC trigger that we both. It's lighter, and the take-up's less, and the reset's less, and the over-travel's less.
So I kind of agree. Like the best triggers I've set up in Glocks were with factory parts, with a Lone Wolf trigger housing or whatever that has that adjustment screw in it. Mm-hmm. Like just polish the out of everything. Like put some decent springs in there. I do like a flat shoe, and preferably not a plastic shoe because it feels weird to me.
It does.
But other than that, like everything else, like the trigger bar, the connector, all that stuff, those are the best triggers that I have experienced so far.
Yeah,
in a Glock.
I'm pretty sure that's what this one is. I mean, he basically makes them
Yeah.
maybe to order. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Looking at the picture, it's got a ghost connector on it.
Yeah.
And then it looks like a factory trigger bar and housing. Really, they do have a really nice high polish. I remember when we put this one in,
Yep.
it was gorgeously polished.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And then he's got his trigger shoe on there.
So yeah, sent this one out. We didn't pay for it, but so far I really like it. Threw it in the Grey Ghost just because I thought it'd be fun, and yeah, so far liking it. 185. That's tacticalpontoon.com if you are interested, and we'll be doing a review pretty soon on this. We took it out and shot it just for the first time, just to make sure everything worked, and we have an issue to work out on this gun. Still,
Yeah.
it was still
We'll just
doing
shoot
that
it more.
thing where the slide wasn't going forward all the way. So we'll get that figured out, and then we'll talk more about the trigger. Nick, what's your product tonight?
Oh boy. So I've been waiting for this for a while. And then I, of course, forgot to grab it when I was leaving to come to the studio tonight.
It's a good thing it's a podcast.
It is a good thing it's an audio podcast. Remember video podcasts? Remember how that was a thing?
It still is.
I hate those. So this is the KDG, or Kinetic Development Group. I don't know that they have a name for it beyond just the Picatinny M-Lock rail. So this is I got the 3-slot version. Basically what this is a QD Picatinny rail. So it fits into an M-Lock slot. It's got little tabs on it. And when you push it against the handguard or whatever it is that you're putting it on, it actually has 2 little barbed attachment, like little leg things that pop out.
Did you know cats have barbed?
I actually did know that.
Okay.
That's why he has a sore on his lip.
That's why they make wow, Sean. That's why they make really terrible sounds. Anyway, dick move.
Another one.
I'm going to mute myself now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Nick.
So it's got these little feet that pop out when you push it against a handguard or whatever. When those pop out, it has little tabs that pop out on either side. It locks in relatively securely, although the one that I have has a little bit of wobble on it or in it. So like I don't think I would put a laser or a front sight or something like that on it that needs to be zeroed, because there does seem to be some movement. These things are really expensive. They're $50 a piece for the 3-slot version, and then they also have a 7-slot version, which is $60, which of course is very, very expensive for an M-Lock rail section. The big thing with this and the application that I got it for is that I really wanted John over here.
Stop laughing.
He's like looking at me or my computer or something and like snickering
I was
quietly.
looking right there because it says like iNect or something.
It's the Connect. I think it's a K, like a backwards K.
Like maybe that's the name of the product. I don't know.
Anyway, so oh god. Oh, my application for this was I wanted I really like the Magpul bipods. Sean's got one. I've played with that. I've played with a couple at trade shows. You have 2? Mm-hmm. How do you have 2? Mm-hmm. You motherfucker.
I have one. I don't really care for it that much.
So this whole time I've been waiting for one, and you had 2?
Wait, did you order one?
Anyway.
So I got one from Brownells, and I got one on the Barrel Gang rifle.
I can't believe you.
Wow.
So I've wanted one for a while. I finally went ahead and ordered this one. The problem was that I wanted a QD one. Like I wanted a bipod that I could put on multiple guns and pop it off and swap it around and stuff without tools. So Magpul offers one that'll go into like an M-Lock slot. They offer one that'll attach to a Picatinny rail, and both of those require tools. Or they offer one that is set up for an arms mount.
They just added the sling swivel.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
Oh, I haven't even seen that
Just
one.
recently.
Of course, I don't have sling swivels on a lot of my stuff, so
Yeah, same.
Wanting a QD setup, I would basically have to buy like M-Lock rails for stuff, and then buy this arms mount, which is $75 on top of the cost of the bipod. So instead, what I did was I got this little 3-section rail, which was or 3-slot rail, which was $50. I attached a Picatinny Magpul bipod to that, and now I have essentially a QD bipod that'll go directly into M-LOK, and I can put it on like my AR that has an M-LOK handguard, or my bolt gun that has an M-LOK forend, or whatever. It's a little more versatile. Now, like I said, it does like snapping stuff in there with the bipod. It does have a little bit of movement in it, so I wouldn't trust it with like a front sight or optic or laser or whatever. I definitely. We're going to the range later this week. I'm definitely going to take it out so we can play with it and like see how solid it mounts up. Because this is just from like playing with it in my living room, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, like so far, I think it's a very cool product. I think it's an impressive product. It's certainly expensive, and I think it's a niche product. But like an application like this, I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's actually a really, really sweet setup.
So one of the questions on Brownells is, will I be able to release this with the bipod still attached? And the answer from Brownells customer care is maybe, if you can get in under the bipod to activate the lock and release it.
So on this one, this is the 3-slot, and with the Magpul bipod, it actually fits perfectly. So there's no overhang or anything. Like it fits it exactly.
Okay.
And when you snap it into place, the little arms pop out on either end of the rail section. And it's not hard to get to them at all. Like they're not, they don't pop out in such a way that it would be easy to hit them and like accidentally detach it. But if you like intend to release it, you can do it pretty easily.
Yeah. It's weird that it's not like locked in. Like M-LOK is solid once you get it in there and actually screw it in, but this one's not. So it really decreases the applications that you could use it for.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a $50 M-LOK rail. So like, I feel like that decreases the application a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Like we'll play with it when we go to the range. Part of it is that it's spring loaded, so instead of having like a screw that you tighten and it clamps in there, like it is spring loaded. So I imagine it's going to have some movement because of that. Like I said, maybe I'm doing it wrong, so we'll have to play with it.
I mean, they even say in the marketing, there's nothing more frustrating than fiddling with an Allen wrench if you can find it to get your accessories on. So I mean, you're probably doing it right.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this application makes a lot of sense for it. I think there are some other applications where like you're trying to quickly throw a light onto a gun or something. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't buy it like as a replacement for all M-LOK sections or rail sections. But for something like this, it makes sense to me.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Links are in the show notes to all of that stuff, which brings us to our next.
What you gonna do now? Talk about lifestyles. Oh yeah. Ain't wrong. What you gonna do now? Talk about lifestyles. Brought to you by Brownells.
So Nick, Aaron, and myself had a fun little project today where we were picking out some Dream Rifle stuff, and all of it was available on Brownells. That's good. Aaron, what do you have for us?
Tonight, I want to talk about.
Wait, I mean about Brownells.
Oh, what do I have about Brownells?
Yeah.
Lowers are on sale.
Which ones?
Arrow, Precision.
Dude, yeah, we were just talking about that the other day. So the Arrow uppers and lowers, like match sets, are both on sale right now. So you can get the upper and the lower in the Arrow Precision for under $100.
Right. Normally it'd be like 170, so you're just saving so much cash.
Jeremy, didn't you just get in a bunch of Arrow Blims?
Yeah, I got in a bunch of Arrow Blems. I got 10 lowers and 5 uppers, and I have 3 left.
Oh.
Yeah, so I posted a picture on Reddit today, and it had Arrow uppers and lowers on, or Arrow lowers on both and an upper on one of them. I've been pretty impressed with them, and I am literally like paying nothing at Brownells for those. So if you're interested, go check them out, Brownells. Go to welikeshooting.com/sponsors, click on Brownells, and go check out and see what they have there. But coupon codes every day. I mean, like, I love the Arrow stuff, and it's been pretty inexpensive. I also noticed today that they have Arrow Precision uppers, but they are XL. So that means that they have an enlarged ejection port so that you can have like 450 Bushmaster, 458 SOCOM, and those are $79.99 for the XL from Arrow, and that's all available at Brownells.
That's pretty slick.
Engorged.
No, enlarged XL, not engorged. That's different. What you got for us, Aaron?
Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Wait, I was just gonna say, Sean, you're really pushing those Reddit posts. I gotta go find them again and downvote them again.
I don't care.
If I downvote them twice, it counts, right?
No. If you downvote it twice, it undownvotes it.
You just keep bringing it up. You're like, oh man,
It's because
Reddit.
it's relevant to the topic.
Because you're trying to get people to go upvote you.
No, I actually literally do not care.
Go find him and downvote him.
I have a 12-year Reddit trophy and like 6,000 karma. Clearly, I don't care about karma.
6,000 karma.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
After 12 years.
Well, apparently you're trying to pump those numbers up.
No, I don't
Those are
care.
rookie numbers.
Go downvote it. I don't give a
I already did.
It was relevant. I literally actually did see that just now. I literally don't care.
I expect you to go downvote all my stuff now.
No, I don't care.
They're
Wait,
fake
hold
points
on.
that don't matter in the real world. Okay, shall I go now, or are you guys going to
Spam.
still do
No,
Reddit
you can go.
stuff?
Yeah, no, he's just commenting blog spam now on my even though there's no blog and I don't talk about anything personal at all. That's cool. At least he commented now, so now I can actually block him.
I'm not commenting. I'm not posting that.
All right. So anyhow, I wanted to talk about boots because it's the time of year where people go hunting. If you're an avid hunter, or if you're like me, an armed hiker who pays a license fee to not shoot anything.
Do you have a landowner's permit up there?
You mean can I hunt on private land without
No,
without
your land, like in Ohio. I don't need a hunting license or a permit to shoot a deer on my own property.
No, you'll need a license for that.
Nope, I don't need it. I don't need a license or
Yeah, here in Michigan we do.
That's dumb.
Sorry, I didn't make the rules.
No wonder your state sucks and everybody's leaving.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Right.
I hate the government.
So anyhow, it's cold outside, and I know last year when I went deer hunting, I had a pair of Sorel boots, which I thought were like awesome boots. Normally, I walk around in the snow with them all the time, but when you're sitting out in the snow in the cold for a long time, my toes got cold, and then my feet got cold, and then I got cold. A lot of people talk about bogs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with bogs.
No.
They're another set of boots. They almost look like giant rubber boots, and but apparently they're so well insulated. But I don't want. They're like $100+, and I don't want to drop that much money on a pair of boots if they don't work, because I just did on my Sorels. So I wonder if you guys have experience in spending time out in a cold climate, and what boots do you wear?
Yeah, I mean, so let's see. I wear true spec boots, and I'm trying to figure out I'm going to see which ones I actually have. I have the Tack Assault boots. No, those aren't. It doesn't even look like they have the boots that I have anymore. But yeah, True Spec is the ones that I use. I actually wore them in Georgia where we were in the rain all freaking day. And they did fine until the water actually went over the tops of them, which was kind of unfortunate. Funny story, completely. Well,
Unrelated?
No, it is related, but I brought them back from Georgia, all my shoes in a trash bag, and didn't unpack it for like a week and a half. And can you imagine how that smelled when I finally opened it up?
Oh, I can, because I did the same thing.
Oh, also wash them at the wash machines at the complex.
Yeah, it's weird to me that Sean travels with like 7 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. And when we were in Utah, I only brought 1 pair of shoes, and I didn't realize we might be hiking through water. And I'm like, hey, dude, can I borrow your flip-flops? Because if my shoes get wet, I'm going to have wet feet the entire rest of the trip. He's like, no, f*** you. I only packed 16 pairs of shoes, and you can't wear any of them.
All right. When we travel, I bring a pair of range shoes or boots, whatever that happens to be. In Utah, I brought my 511 shoes. I bring a nice pair of shoes to wear to the airport, and I bring a pair of flip-flops. So I bring like 3. Sometimes, depending on what we're going to be doing, I'll bring an extra pair of tennis shoes as well that I'm not going to get dirty, but we might be walking around a lot. So at the max, I bring 4 pairs of shoes because I've been traveling for 6 years plus, like the rest of you idiots, but I figured it out and you haven't. I don't know what to say.
No, see, the way I look at it is I don't want to pay the cost of checked bags, so I can only afford so much space in my bags.
90% of the time, I put all my boots in my carry-on.
So I wear my boots and maybe a pair of flip-flops or like some slip-ons or something. Maybe. And it has never been an issue for me.
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, so anyhow, the shoes I was wearing are still on the back porch from the trip.
My
damn.
shoes.
From Georgia, and now they're covered in about 8 inches of snow.
Jeez, no, mine have been washed, dried, and are now sitting on the shoe rack in my closet.
How'd you dry them?
I just left them in the bathtub.
Dude, get a boot dryer. They're awesome.
No, that makes sense. I mean, I don't wear boots very, very often.
Good Lord, if you wear boots, get a boot dryer.
Is it just like a blow dryer that you put in your boot?
Yeah,
Sorta.
it's a stick. It's like a hand dryer in the thing. It's just 2 sticks that come up. You just slip your boots over them.
Nice.
They're amazing.
I had a friend make one out of some PVC pipe, just
Yeah,
2 tubes.
I was about to say they're basically like some PVC pipe with like a nozzle on the end of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they need an outlet though, so it doesn't, all the air doesn't get sucked and it blows out the engine.
No, they're literally made
like an
for
elbow. Yeah.
No, when I was a kid, we used to. I don't know if your house is the way my house is set up. We have like a mechanical room where like the heater for the house is, and it's a room right off the front porch, like right over here, and in there is the furnace for the house. So in the wintertime, that was also like the mud room. If you grew up in the country, you have a mud room.
Right.
It's where, Nick's like, mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what a mudroom is.
Yeah. Well, some people, city folk, don't know what a mudroom is.
Dude, I grew up in a mud house.
Yeah. So that was the mudroom, and the furnace was in there. So that's like where all the winter boots and the farm, the barn boots and were. Well, we have water heat in the house. There were like hot water lines with spigots, and so we'd always like put our boots like over the spigots and just let the hot water pipe dry your boots out.
Nice.
And that worked real well for till they updated the furnace and the piping all got changed.
I made a terrible mistake on a backpacking trip one time. I had some brand new boots, and
never take new boots.
I went to cross a river and ended up stepping in a hole that was not visible. So lost my boots downriver. Was able to like get down there and retrieve them, thankfully, but they were soaked. So we set up camp for the night, and I made the brilliant decision to set my boots nearish the fire to dry out overnight. When I woke up in the morning, my soles were only half attached. So I ended up having to hike back out with boots that had soles attached at the heel, and the rest just flopped. So like every time I took a step, my sole would just flop up and down. Oh, it was terrible.
Like any duct tape?
My boots in boot camp did that to me.
It's terrible.
Sole separated.
That's what you were telling us.
Yeah, every step you take.
I posted on Reddit today about my boots. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. So I figured out what I had. I have the True Spec Tack Assault 9-inch boots, and in Georgia they were great. I've worn them when we did the anti-carjacking class with Kanawha's Tactical Group in like below zero weather, snow. They did great.
What's the price on those?
They are $76.
And where can you get them?
TrueSpec.com.
Awesome.
I honestly don't even know where. I mean, I know where I got my winter boots, but I don't know what brand they are. They're just big, heavy. Seriously, they weigh like 5 pounds a piece. They're awesome. Then I got like combat boots left over, and I usually wear cowboy boots.
Yeah. Andrew says city folk call that an entry room.
I just responded. So like an entry room or an entryway is different.
It's different. Like a mud room is like Aaron in Georgia, the place we stayed with Brownells, they had the mud room. It was literally a room off the outside of the house that had like a sink and just like a place for all your dirty ass shoes and
an easily cleanable floor.
Yeah.
They
At the
also
very
had a foyer.
least, At the very least, it'll be like you come through the front door and there'll be like a bench on either side and like a narrow hallway almost where you can sit down and take your shit off, and then you go, and like coat hangers for your jacket and stuff, and then you go into the entryway.
You literally don't care if it gets muddy as
Right. It's always like tile or something.
A foyer is more like you walk in and it's like the entranceway.
Yeah, you're like, this
You're
is
in
the
the
entrance.
main
Like,
lobby.
There's a foyer right here. Like I'm looking at a foyer.
A foyer?
And then a foyer.
Yeah, it's a foyer.
Oh, okay,
actually.
my bad.
A funny foyer if you want to be a French cheesy surrender monkey.
Yeah, and use your bidet,
That's a bidet.
whatever.
Steven.
Boudoir.
Yeah, so mine are. So my boots, actually, I was just looking at the stats. They're Cordura nylon uppers, water repellent leather, ergonomically padded 9-inch ankle collar.
Okay, but let's talk about mudrooms some more.
Okay.
Oh wait, here's a tip. If you have leather boots, right, and they're not quote unquote waterproof, but they're just good leather work boots, go get yourself some snow skin.
I just bought some
Snow
work
seal.
boots.
Is that spray?
It's not a spray. It's like it almost looks like petroleum jelly, like Vaseline.
Yeah.
But you heat your boots up, you get them warm, and then you smear it on there, and it melts into the leather, and that is f***ing awesome.
Okay, so I just bought some work boots. I'll have to check that out.
So I don't.
Snow seal, I think.
I used to wear Sorels for like, heavy winter stuff. Since I moved to Colorado, I haven't really had winter boots. Right now, the only boots that I have, and like the ones I wear the most, are just like some Western style like slip-on work boots, and they're leather. I just keep them like waxed and I polish them every once in a while, and they seem to do okay. Like they're not insulated or anything, so I do get cold every once in a while, but
I have Maelstrom boots too.
it's so mild here that it has not been an issue for me.
Can we just seriously talk for a minute about LL Bean and duck boots?
Sure.
Are duck boots like bogs?
You never seen a duck boot?
It's the leather on top and the rubber on the bottom, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, no, they used to be really popular back in the 80s.
Dude, there's some good cold weather boots, man.
I mean, when I was growing up, it was Timberlands before they became like all like stylish. Timberlands used to be really good outdoor hiking boots.
That's
I'm from
before
Ohio.
Kanye.
I'm from Ohio, so it's all Rockies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the Rockies manufacturing plant was in southern Ohio.
I've owned a couple pairs of Rockies, and those are pretty good.
Nick F says, I've had good luck with Maelstrom boots, but I think he meant Maelstrom.
Yeah, I've got those.
Because
as well.
Maelstrom seems way different.
It's like a video that you'd find on like
Jeremy's phone.
Jeremy's history, yeah.
No, that's what that song was written about.
It's raining men. Maelstrom. James Allen said Wolverines are great. Never got any water in them. I'm not sure how warm they are because I usually wear multiple pairs of socks when it gets cold. That is a good point. When I'm out in the cold, I do wear like smart wool socks.
Yeah, I only wear one pair of socks. I don't think I think if you just keep adding them on, it becomes.
Here's the trick. You wear dress socks and then put your wool socks on. Then you put your boots on because the polyester doesn't hold water and the cotton does or the wool does. So it'll literally suck the sweat away and your feet stay dry because you're adding a barrier between yourself and wet socks.
Nice. All right.
That's a little trick.
Pro tip from Jeremy. Let's go
You used
ahead.
to do that on like 15, 20-mile humps so you didn't get blisters.
Nice.
How fast were you going?
Well, he's so
we
30.
did 20 miles in 6 hours.
Well, that's just
Oh wow!
stupid.
So you were humping really slow then.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
yeah,
fast.
you got to take like
That's-
a break for taking a piss and stuff.
That's
but-
impressive. So you were for 6 hours?
Yeah, like 6
yeah,
minutes.
it was
I'm
like,
done.
it was like
Yeah.
Sting. It was all
I figured
tantric.
I figured you were like driving really fast, so it was
All
like
right.
a short hump.
So second call defense, if you've heard the show, you've heard us talk about them. It's self-defense insurance. If you have a gun at your house, if you carry a gun every single day, if you have to use it, what happens after that? That's what they cover. And it's just like car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance. It is self-defense insurance. If you use it, they make sure that you're covered. They make sure that you're legal. Issues have coverage, whether it's hiring attorneys, paying damages, getting your gun back after you're found not guilty, all those things. WeLikeShooting.com/SCD. Get a free month, a free shirt just for signing up. And this is going ballistic. Savage, what do you have for us?
Starting off is somewhat comical, also somewhat scary. Michael Bloomberg has been exploring the option, the infamous Michael Bloomberg has been exploring the option of a presidential bid yet again. The New York-based billionaire has been launching a few exploratory committees, and he's been doing some polling, and he's polling at a whopping 4%, which would put him very close to last place. In addition to that, it looks like about 25% of likely primary voters would view him as unfavorably. And, you know, him and God knows who else is not that many people coming into the race. You know, him coming into the race right now, if he were to even go toe-to-toe with, you know, Donald Trump, if there was anybody else who is hated more than Hillary, this guy would be a very close second. So, you know, having him as the guy to run against Trump. I mean, there's the Democratic Party candidates aren't as, you know, strong now, but this guy would dilute that vote even more and pretty much ensure a win for the side of the Republicans. But that's not all. I mean, I think people need to realize just how bad he is. Like, he has a long history of racism. Back in New York City, he implemented the policies of stop and frisk, which is basically if you're a minority, you're getting stop and frisked. And in addition to that, there was back in 2015, he was giving a speech. I believe it was in a black church at the time, and he was saying that 95% of murders fall into a specific category: male, minority, and between the ages of 15 and 25. So cities need to get guns out of this group's hands and keep them alive. So, you know, let the government take the guns to keep you safe, black people, because you're not, you know, enough of a human being, an independent human being, to be able to do it yourself. You know, and his stats are flat out wrong. I mean, all of his stats regarding gun control are pretty much falsified, but he has a special place in his heart for basically going after minorities, and just having him on the docket just is kind of, it should really be an embarrassment for Democrats. I mean, honestly, this guy couldn't be, like, you can't take this guy seriously. But
whoa, except you should.
Yeah,
because,
you should.
Listen, Beto went hardcore on anti-gun. We're going to take your AR and AK. Beto probably didn't think of that himself, because over the years he's come out and said, look, I have an AR-15, blah, 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 everything's good to go. Someone directed him to do that. Someone pushed him. Someone pressured him to do that. That person is probably Bloomberg or people who work for Bloomberg and things like that. So I think that historically this is one of the absolute weakest Democratic pools of candidates that we have ever seen. And I think one of the reasons for that might be a little bit planned. I always say that we underestimate our enemies, and I think we do it very, very often. But I think that Bloomberg is very clever, or at least the people working for Bloomberg are very, very clever, and I think are political masterminds. And I think when we see people like Beto out there, and we see now I'm forgetting the ex-vice president's name. Biden, thank you. When we see Biden out there, like this is an incredibly horrible pool. And when people say, well, you know, we see this other guy out there, yeah, he's polling bad now, but I mean, look at Virginia, dude. Virginia just turned blue. Virginia, who has Sic Semper Tyrannis on their state flag with a person standing on the body of a deposed dictator. Ridiculous, like that it would go blue, and it went blue because of all the money from Bloomberg and organizations like his. So
I love how they say it went blue, and if you actually look at the county map, it's like
red,
blued out, blued out, blued out, blued out. Red. Dude,
just like Colorado, we have Boulder, Fort Collins, and Denver, and gerrymandering. The people who define those limits, they are ridiculously powerful. Colorado, 3 blue dots and a sea of red. And here we have July 1st, 2013, when we lost magazine capacity limits and things like that. So I think to discount him would be a horrible mistake. I think he's smarter than ever. I think that people like Beto have been used and discarded by him to create a pool that is extremely shallow. And for someone to come in who has a history of these things and who has access to all of the mainstream media or most of the mainstream media, who controls a lot of the mainstream news organizations that are out there, to suddenly be talking about throwing his hat into the ring and being able to basically define what the public perception and the public news is. I think it's incredibly interesting to me, especially after Beto dropped out, especially after he changed tact on gun control and things like that. I am very worried about Bloomberg talking about entering the race because of the last several years and things that I've been noticing.
Bloomberg has the money, but that's another reason specifically why a lot of people are going to be against him. And I think he'd actually disenfranchise a lot of Democrat voters because he does have a lot of Republican tendencies in him. And, him being a billionaire, he's the 1% that everybody hates on the Democratic side.
They're all 1%.
Yeah.
Sanders a millionaire, Clinton's a millionaire.
Well, but they weren't necessarily when they went into office.
Yeah.
I want to know how the hell Bernie Sanders is a millionaire who never actually held a job.
So,
yeah, right.
Savage, I'll say this, that if suddenly Bloomberg starts presenting himself as kind of the middle-of-the-road candidate, and yes, we have problems, and, dude, honestly, mark my words, I think that we're going to start to see this. We're going to start to see him as, Beto was like way too left-wing and way too over the edge, and I think he's going to start to present himself as a middle-of-the-road candidate, which we all know he's not, but it doesn't matter because he controls so much of the media that they're going to push the perception that he wants them to push. And mark my words, I think we're going to see him come out as a middle-of-the-road in a sea full of people who are way too far left. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, time will tell. Time will tell. Yeah. Gallup has released a poll recently coming off of people's views on laws on gun sales, among other things. So since 2011, there has been a somewhat growing trend for people who want, and this is, you need to make sure you understand the phraseology of this, they want stricter gun laws covering the sale of firearm sales. Now, that's a completely nebulous statement. It doesn't mean a specific, policy such as, universal background checks, or it could mean harsher penalties for people who break the law. So there's no real defined definition of what they mean by stricter gun control laws around firearm sales, but the general sentiment has been that it's been increasing. The low was actually around 2012 at 43%. Obviously, we saw a spike at the end of 2012, and then a gradual roll-off and upward trend towards 64%. So it's gained about 20% worth of people wanting that more strict policies. And the interesting thing is, we all know that assault rifles or assault weapon bans has been the thing to go on, but handguns have been responsible for the majority of homicides and crime in the United States. However, Americans' view on handgun ban, which has been put forth by the Brady Bill, the Brady Bunch, and every town for gun safety has advocated for more restrictions on handguns. There's been an increase in people thinking that there should not be a nationwide handgun ban, which is fantastic news. So there's been a decrease in people that want the bans, and an increase in people that think there should not be a ban. So at least we've got that going for us as far as handguns. There's not anything in this Gallup poll regarding semi-automatic rifles, so we'll kind of have to wait till the next one comes around. Till then, so it's interesting seeing how there's a little bit of a dichotomy. On one side, they want there to be stricter laws overall when it comes to sales, but they want looser laws or less restrictions when it comes to handguns, despite handguns being resulting in more damage, I guess you could say.
So here's the thing. The question in specific that they asked in the Gallup poll is, in general, do you feel that laws covering the sale of firearms should be made more strict, less strict, or kept as they are now? 2018 to 2019, it went from 67% more strict to 64%. So that number's down on more strict.
On a year.
Yeah, in 1 year. Less strict has gone up 3% in that same year, and kept as they are has remained the same at 28%. That to me, that says that it's not getting more that people want it; it's getting less.
Well, I mean, you can't base an opinion off of a 1 year time period. You have to go over, a long period of years, and it has generally been increasing since 2012. Now, we may see a trend where it starts to drop off, but we can't make that kind of prediction off of just 1 year.
Well, I'm just talking year over year, and if we can look at the FBI Uniform Crime Report, we look at it year over year, and we make those same assessments. Next question is, in general, do you feel that the loss the exact same question, but this one I thought was interesting. So Democrats, and this is the percent more strict, they went down from 90% to 88%. So Democrats lost support. Republicans went up 3% from 33 to 36, and this is a 2-year period on this. So Republicans got a little bit more, and then independents went from 55 to 64. That's the biggest jump, and that's where we're losing, because people screaming on the left, people screaming on the right don't necessarily matter. It's the people in the middle that I think we really need to focus on, and they're sick of people screaming about it all the time.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Percent, should there be a law banning handguns? Republicans went from 12 to 10% over the 2-year period from 2017 to 2019. Democrats went from 45% to 44%, so they went down. And once again, independents, those people went from 25 to 30%. We're losing the PR battle, as I always say, and it's because, I was just talking to somebody in our cult group, and there is
maybe it's because we're calling ourselves a cult.
No, in Virginia there is a day that's like the National Lobby Day or whatever, and a lot of people show up in full kit and firearms and things like that. And so here's the thing: is I'm like, totally, if that's what you want to do, then go do it. If it's legal and you can do it, then go do it. But I also said that, look, we're losing a PR battle when Bloomberg is, in my opinion, going to represent himself as kind of the middle-of-the-road candidate because he set up Beto to fail and to seem like a maniac, and Kamala Harris and all these people. We are losing a PR battle. And you can go in full kit, and if that's legal, then that's cool. You go in full kit. But then we had some other people that say they go to it every single year, and they're wearing a suit, and they're just open carrying a pistol on their side. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. The people on the right, they want to go in full kit. The far right, they want to go in full kit. They want to sling an AR over their shoulder, and that's all very cool. The people who don't, they don't want to see any of that. They don't want to see any guns whatsoever. And in that middle of the road with people wearing a suit and tie and a pistol and a holster on their side, that's that middle of the road. And these numbers right here show that we are losing those independent voters. We are losing this PR battle against all the anti-gun groups that are out there, and it's time that we actually understand that this is a PR battle. It's not a battle of what's right. It's not a battle of what's legal. It's a battle of PR, and we are losing it. We're losing it every single day with these middle of the road voters who probably don't want to see a dude in a full plate carrier with a bunch of magazines on his chest and an AR slung over his shoulder. It's great that it's legal. I totally support you to do whatever is legal. I don't want more laws, and I'm just telling you that is the reason that we're losing those unaffiliated middle-of-the-road voters.
Yeah, if you're one of those people that thinks it's such an awesome idea to start a conversation to go to Walmart with your AR slung over your shoulder, I mean, that's not going to win anybody's hearts and minds. It's just not. Like, I see people OCing pistols all the time in my area. I have no problem with it. But there's been such a stigma around, rifles, especially AR-15s, that if you go into a place, people are going to panic because they're afraid. It doesn't matter if it's legal and it should be fine, but it's not. And you're not going to change anybody's position. You're just going to push them farther away.
Yeah, and look, being right isn't always what's important. Sometimes being smart is what's important.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, sorry. It seems like every story you have, I keep editorializing. I'll shut up on the next one.
Fine. I honestly want this back and forth because if we're not having the discussion about it, then we're not able to flush out the ideas. I just don't want to be talking in an echo chamber. I want pushback, and we should. That's what you should want. You should want people to disagree with you, like we've said before. To test your ideas and make sure they stand up to logic.
Yeah. Next story.
Tensions are escalating in Hong Kong. And, I mean, if you watch the video that I have in the show note links, the police literally DGAF right now. I mean, some protesters were coming up to them, and all they did was they pulled out their pistols and they shot two of them, just point blank range, just right there. There was no violence going on, and these guys just started shooting people. And what are the people in Hong Kong going to do right now? They can't do a thing. The only people that have guns are the police and the military, and you got to hand it to the protesters out there. They've got because they're going out there completely unarmed against a military and police force that is armed. And it just goes to show that when you don't have arms, the people with the arms are the ones that are going to have the power, and then the people who don't are the ones that are going to take the brunt of that. So I think Hong Kong is again one of those great examples of places where they've got complete gun control, and the population is being completely abused by the military and police. And that's why we absolutely have to hold tight to our ability to own firearms that are equivalent to what the military would have, because if it comes to a showdown like that, I want to be able to be on equal footing.
Yep. Sic semper tyrannis.
Please, my weapons are way better than what the cop has.
Yeah.
Well, he has a f***ing revolver, dude.
Yeah,
but,
that's funny.
It's better than what the protesters have, which is nothing.
It's the second shooting that I've seen in Hong Kong, and both of them had a revolver.
Yeah, probably just 38s.
The first shooting, though, was kind of like, they're getting attacked.
Yeah, this one, like, he shoots the dude who's not even wrestling with him.
Right? Like, he totally shoots the wrong dude, and he starts it by grabbing the dude in white.
Yeah. I mean, look, when we're seeing signs all over about, like, we need guns and keep the Second Amendment, like, this is what it is. If you believe, I don't want to editorialize, but yeah. It's this is a big deal. Pay attention to what's happening in Venezuela. Pay attention to what happened in Venezuela. Pay attention to what's happening in Hong Kong, and watch other things than mainstream media to actually see it. So Venezuela, I've watched a lot of stuff on Vice and all kinds of other secondary news sources. Now, Vice probably pretty anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment in general, but just watch it and form your own views and try to see the truth through the lens of whoever is reporting it. And that includes us. Like, don't listen to what we say. See it through the lens of us. Like, we're clearly pro-freedom, pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, and pro-United States. But see it through that lens and form your own opinions.
Yep. Last thing here, just going to touch on it really quick, and I'm going to be pushing this through till January, so if you're tired of hearing it, too bad, because this actually matters to me and the people in my state of Washington. We are currently pushing for a petition to be signed, 1094, which would be the repeal of I-1639. It's gaining steam. We're getting a lot of signatures. We need more. We need to break 300,000 for redundancy's sake. So if you're in the state of Washington, go to the show notes that I have in here, click on a link. There's over 170 different locations you can go and put your name on that initiative. We either have this initiative process or the courts take forever. So this is our only chance in the very near future to get rid of the that happened to us last year. So get off your asses. I've already done it. I've told my friends about it. They've gone and done it. Get out there, sign these petitions now.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Individual rights, we have to fight for them individually. Don't wait. Savage, what are some gun rights groups in Washington?
Second Amendment Foundation.
Second Amendment Foundation. So definitely support those, but you have to get involved. You have to, sign a petition?
Yep.
And this is in person, right? You have to
there's pretty much any gun shop in the state that's not corporate. Go there and they'll have a petition you can sign.
Yeah, 100% agree. All right. Savage, anything else?
That's all I got this week.
All right, good stuff tonight. It is time to hear some reviews. And
it's positively Derek. Positively P-O-Z Derek.
All right. This is brought to you by the Sonoran Desert Institute, sdi.edu. Check them out. If you have interest in working on guns, gunsmithing, all kinds of stuff like that, go see what they have to offer and let them know that We Like Shooting sent you. Just real quick, getting back, JH said signed and drove his dad down. Catholic fundamentalist. Wait, where is this one? I saw. Oh yeah, here it is. WLS Angel one. If Paul Revere wrote today, how many would listen? Hopefully 3%. because that's what we did last time. And then also said, Sean, mute him quick. I think it was just because you were talking about Washington, but it's important. And Izzy says, how can we help Savage if we're not in Washington? Is there...
Yeah, send money to me.
By working in the shadows and working to start the Boogaloo.
Yeah, gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look it up, but I mean, donate to the Second Amendment Foundation. Them and a bunch of other people. I'd have to look up who's exactly pushing this. But it's a grassroots, project. Nobody's getting paid to do any of this stuff. They're spending their own money, all these different gun shops, to print off these petitions and to get out there and have people sign them. So I don't know what to tell you besides give money to the Second Amendment Foundation.
Yeah, I've been well, you know what? It's interesting too because I've been checking out maps a lot, and I cannot find anywhere on our map. I mean, I can find my state, I can find your states, guys, but I can't find the deep state. Can you guys help me out there? Oh,
that bad. Yeah, Savage is like, hey, f*** you.
Oh, Savage.
That joke was so bad, Savage left.
Jeremy, take it away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The reviews. I don't know if you're...
Breakfast, which he spelled wrong.
Yeah, like Breckenridge Fast.
Yeah. Squatty Bob, 5 stars. If I had a nickel for every time Sean said prima nocta, I would have enough to buy my 3rd century strap from Neomag in multicamp. Seriously, it should be added to his list of phrases in the drinking game. I would be so drunk my grandkids would have fetal alcohol syndrome.
Like they don't already you.
Yeah. Do you smell popcorn? By Super 5 stars. If I describe each cast member as a fart, Sean would be a shart, like the shart. Sean not only screams look at me, but he insists on sticking around and being seen by everyone. The Machine Gun Moses, more like Machine Gun fart in his fart. His mouth is like a hole that will not stop, just throwing out gas and leaving everyone around him grossed out. Savage would be the silent but deadly, but no one expects him. But when it happens, it sucks. Also, it usually smells like sauerkraut or some Eastern Bloc food. Nick as a fart could be described as the beefy one. Sounds like bramp. Will smell a bit like the rotting offspring of a dead cow and dog. Jeremy's the fart. Well, we can only call that the bear fart, a.k.a. Nightmare on Smell Street. Also bears because he is gay. This kind of fart will wake you up at night. It smells so bad. They can either be silent or noisy, but they are the stinkiest farts imaginable. Only if I've had dairy.
It's true, actually. We can all vouch for this. Except Savage.
Thankfully.
So there are some blessings, I guess. All right. Thank you for leaving reviews. Leave them for us. Facebook, iTunes, or wherever fine podcasts are served, because we're probably also there. I don't really know. It is time to wrap this up. Love WLS is the place you can go. But before anything else, we started a cult, and I need to get there. Here it is.
All hail the elders of the cult. Sean, Nick, Aaron, Jeremy. To them we give our hard-earned cash. To them we pledge our loyalty. Savage.
So Patreon was getting anti-gun, so we decided to start our own. It's theguncult.com, theguncult.com. And that's where you can find out more, way better rewards than we previously had, all kinds of cult swag and other things. Anyone wearing cult swag? Oh, I'm not even wearing my signet ring today.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Not.
Oh, no, that's not cult swag. That's WLS swag. Anyway, theguncult.com. And honestly, if you feel like the show is worth like $1 a week, we would really appreciate it if you go check that out and sign up and get some of the cool stuff there. Love to WLS.com. It also has our store where you can see my shirt, July 4th, 1776, with the Declaration of Independence painting in the background. Nick's hoodie, Aaron's hoodie, and all kinds of other stuff is available. Patches. We have some M81 patches that are going to be available very soon. I've literally been waiting for them for about 2.5 months, and they will be here extremely, extremely soon on the store. So keep an eye out for that. And let's see, Rooftoppers, and also links to our advertisers, their coupon codes, and all their websites, all that good stuff is there as well. I already mentioned individual rights, so join FPC GOA SAF and get involved in your own state every single day, every moment that you have free to do so. We give out the suicide prevention line. The number is 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK, or you can text 741-741. Did you guys have fun tonight?
Yeah.
A lot.
Absolutely not.
Izzy said, I would give more, but Sean knows how much John pays me. That's why I just give sexual favors at SHOT Show. It's also why we always bring him Cokes at SHOT Show, because of those sexual favors. So,
yeah.
Right, Aaron?
Because he could just stand there and do it without actually having to, like, kneel.
He's a short man.
That's just not nice.
WLS. I think Savage is taller.
WLS Angel One says, all hail WLS. I totally agree. We're here live every week on Monday and Wednesday night. We've got a new movie show. Check it out in our main feed. It's called Gun Flicks and Chill with We Like Shooting. You can get all of our podcasts. Double Tap, our main show, or our Monday show, I should say, and our new movie show. And we've even got a fourth show coming out very soon, not gun-related, but it is absolutely America-related. Find it all on our feed and live here. Monday and Wednesday nights. Go to WeLikeShooting.com/show to subscribe. And as we say every single week, 324 episodes. Guys, thanks for listening. Get some medical training and shoot straight. Oh, God.
Hey, Sean, wait.
Oh, okay.
We want to thank our guests for being on tonight.
Yeah, Hackett Equipment, Greg.
And use WLS 20 to get 20% off all your goods from Hackett Equipment. And if you spend over $50, free shipping.
All right, good looking out, bro. Aaron caught me slipping. Don't catch me slipping. Shoot straight. All right, so I always write down, like, show name ideas. All I wrote down tonight was Dark Santa.
I like Taco Bar.
What was the one that made us crack up so much?
When we Nick's lip sore from a cat. And Jeremy. Tell me about Jeremy.
Cat's and what was it about Jeremy?
No, Mexican.
Bifurcated cat pizza. And then what was Jeremy's again?
It was not bifurcated, just Barb.
Oh, Barb. Wait, what was it about Jeremy that made us all laugh?
You said something about Mexican.
I said I had Mexican last night, and you said, what's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what's his name has to be the show title, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Man, I mentioned this, something to Sean that I'm self-conscious about. And he's like, here, let me make a joke about it on the show, guys.
I know. I'm so sorry, Nick.
Yeah. You. No, you're not.
Did you end up joking about it on the show?
Yeah, he did.
No one actually knew about it until right now, but...
What was it?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I mean, no. We were literally just talking about it. The lip sword.
You said it was a zit.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that.
So you called it a sword.
Okay, but it's a zit.
Oh, my God.
Is it herpes related?
No.
Oh, my God, this is going on so long. I'm just I'm going to artificially stop it because I'm so uncomfortable right now and I feel bad-ish.
Nick, you got a sore on your lip,
No,
buddy?
stop.
Yep.
Wait, should the title be The Sore now? I'm confused. Oh, I'm turning down Nick's mic, not the...
I'm just going to go back to talking... Whoa. I'm just going to go back to talking...
Hold on.
Sean, how's your bald head?
Okay, I'm not bald, you piece of...
Yeah, I dropped that because you were self-conscious about it.
I'm not
And then
self-conscious.
yes, you f***ing were.
Did you think that show was worth $1? Help the cast by visiting lovewls.com.